Yeah. Excuse me, Brock. Brock. Wow. I look like fat, Dwayne? That ain't fat. That ain't fat. If you're watching already. I doubt it.
Want premium beef that lasts for years? Trevor Beef's freeze-dried.
Give it time.
Keep their flavor for over a decade. Premium, high-quality, delicious beef. Visit PrepperBeef.com. Enter promo code Natural25 for 25% off your first purchase. PrepperBeef.com.
A better life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta. A lot of people struggle with mobility as they get older. That's because as we age, we tend to lose muscle mass and our joints stiffen up. It takes us longer to recover when we injure ourselves. But if you want to be one of those more spry seniors, here's what you need to know. When you stop moving through a full range of motion regularly, your body adapts by reducing that range. This is according to Dana Santis, a certified strength and conditioning coach. She says, think about how you move throughout your day, reaching and pulling and squatting and twisting, and make sure you're training for those functional movements. Be sure to move throughout the day, not just when you exercise. And one way to do that is by something known as habit stacking, where you pair an exercise with something that you already do. Like, for example, maybe you do a wall sit while you're brushing your teeth. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
Former U.S. Navy SEAL Sean Ryan captures real stories about sacrifice and strength.
My biggest fear wasn't death. My biggest fear was nobody would remember me.
And he motivates a lot of people just feel invincible. They were all convinced, I think, that they were about to die. This rush and stress comes over because now it's still time. All of a sudden they're saying, what is really important? Let us reveal the truth of ourselves. That's it.
The Sean Ryan Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Here's Michelle Murray in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
The inner loop of the Beltway jam between St. Barnabas Road and 295, and there is a report of a crash on the inner loop at St. Barnabas Road. On the outer loop, you'll still find delays through Bethesda and towards Tyson's and from Van Dorn Street to the Wilson Bridge, but the earlier crash on the outer loop of the Eisenhower Avenue connector cleared. Inner loop is jammed between 123 and the Spur and between Old Georgetown Road and New Hampshire Avenue. In the district in Southeast, Southern Avenue remains closed between Sibley Road and Wood Park Lane due to a large sinkhole in the roadway. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Patchy fog overnight. Tomorrow, sunshine, 95 to 100. Thursday, we're tracking a cold front with strong to severe storms and pockets of moderate to heavy rain that may bring localized flash flooding. I'm 7 News meteorologist Steve Rubin in the First Alert Weather Center.
Right now, 93 degrees in Washington. I'm Heather Curtis on WMAL.
He's here. Now broadcasting from the underground command post, deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker, somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with our leader, Mark Levin.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Our number, 877-381-3811, 877-381-3811. It's official, ladies and gentlemen. My new book, On Power, is out today. And those of you who are purchasing it, I want to thank you. On Amazon.com and any retail bookstore or any of the warehouse stores that currently have it, I want to thank you. Barnes & Noble has a lot of them, and Walmart, and Costco has some, and BJ's and Sam's and Target, and on and on and on. And of course, the surest way is Amazon.com, your local bookstore. But I want to thank you all. It has received a fantastic reception. I want to thank all of the radio hosts and TV hosts who have thus far interviewed me and have read the book and have been asking really good questions, and I think we've had excellent discussions. This is what broadcasting is all about. It's not just paint by the numbers. It's not just go to websites and pick up the five top subjects. It's not just guests and guests and more guests. It's this, talking about things that are substantive and matter. There's really few other formats in which it can be done. Truly. We can do it on Fox, we can do it on conservative talk radio, and we can do it in some other, methods and modes and platforms, but few others. And this is the advantage of freedom of speech. This is the advantage of these industries. And so we're doing exactly what we should be doing. We're talking about smart things, substantive things, I hope entertaining and interesting things. And it shouldn't be boring. It shouldn't be monotonous. I mean, these are really new ideas and new applications of old ideas as far as I'm concerned. So On Power is the book. I hope you'll acquire yours tonight or tomorrow or soon. We can jump in. Again, I want to thank all the hosts from today and many tomorrow and in the next several weeks. All the broadcast companies, Fox, Westwood One has been fantastic, Blaze, all the rest. I want to thank you all. We'll get into that a little bit. We have two big book signings coming up too that I want to mention. But before I do, I want to go over a few facts with you, and it'll soon become apparent why I am. Ever hear the bombing of Dresden, America? The bombing of Dresden during World War II, the Allied bombing. 2.5 days of bombing, February 13th to the 15th, 1945. The desire was just to bring an end to the Second World War. And this bombing was a terror bombing campaign against Germany that was specifically focused on civilians. Civilians. Dresden had no real military threat or application. It was a mid-sized city. And the goal of the British and the United States was to bomb it to smithereens. To smithereens. And throughout the war, Churchill had called for increased British air raids against the population centers of Germany in order to swamp German authorities and services. And as the Allied forces closed in on the Third Reich in 1945, these targets became more feasible, as Britannica points out. Before World War II, Dresden was called the Florence of Germany, considered one of the world's most beautiful cities because of its architecture and its art treasures. Having never been previously attacked in any war, the city offered increased value for terror bombing against an inexperienced population. On the night of February 13, the British Bomber Command hit Dresden with an 800 bomber air raid. 800 bombers. They dropped 2,700 tons of bombs, including large numbers of incendiaries. And they were aided by weather conditions. A firestorm developed, incinerating tens of thousands of people. The U.S. 8th Air Force followed the next day with another 400 tons of bombs, carried out yet another raid by 210 bombers. At this point, Germany was basically in the air, defenseless. The estimate is as high as 250.
My uncle was a pilot in
As low as
WW2.
35,000.
I have an uncle who was
Given the influx of undocumented refugees that had fled Dresden. Almost all of the victims were women, children, and elderly, since all the men had been drafted into the war. Dresden.
Wigan. Fuck you and Will Durant.
Benchmark.
This is ode to Twink.
The power
Twink.
Strategic bombing of civilian centers.
Hope you're watching.
Critics say the military value of the bombing did not justify Dresden's near obliteration. The city could have been spared like Rome and Paris and Kyoto. And given the massive number of civilian casualties and the relatively few strategic targets, some even called the bombing of Dresden a war crime. Though both the British and American militaries defended the bombing as necessary. Any idea why I'm mentioning this, Mr. Producer? I have to listen to the weasel, quisling Prime Minister of the UK go on and on about Israel starving Palestinians in Gaza when we all know that Hamas is behind it. I have to hear these phony influencers. You know what an influencer is? It is a self-anointed narcissist, self-righteous. They influence nobody. They babble. They talk to each other. They interview each other. I have to listen to these British podcasters and broadcasters condemn Israel? Really? And this Prime Minister of Britain? Really? And he threatens he's going to recognize a Palestinian state like his French quisling weasel friend Macron? An individual who I don't know posted and I retweeted it. This would be like awarding the Third Reich a new state after the Holocaust. And that's what France and the British and the Spanish and the rest of them, the Norwegians, that's what they're doing. And to hear podcasters and others in our own country to side with this insanity will never be forgotten. That will be their legacy. No matter what else they say, from today to tomorrow, no matter what else they say in the future, they will be remembered as the voices that opposed preventing Iran from getting nuclear weapons. They will be remembered as the voices that turned on our ally, with the anti-Semitic capitals throughout Europe and beyond are turning on the state of Israel. They will be remembered for their hypocrisy, where they claim America first when they don't even know what it means. What they're demanding that Israel do is surrender. That's the only thing Israel can do to accommodate their demands, as they sit on their fat asses, collect their clicks and their hits and their eyeballs and their millions, going on and on about what somebody else should do.
Look at you.
We would never do what they're demanding that Israel do. Never. And we didn't. We bombed Dresden into obliteration. And not just Dresden. We dropped 2 atomic bombs. And when you add the number of people who died in Dresden and the number of people who died from the dropping of the 2 atomic bombs, and we were involved in all 3, and rightly so. No apologies. A world war where we were attacked, where it was life and death. Makes Gaza look rather small, even though it's not, doesn't it? Dresden, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Those are only three. There were others.
Wiggins crying
There's
in
no
Vegas
talk in our
already.
country about feeding the citizenry of
Fuck
the
you,
enemy.
Wiggin. Fuck you, you toothless
In fact, it
fucker.
was a military decision.
Who the fuck you think you
And in
are?
order to stop
You're a fucking
these
idiot.
regimes, in order to defeat Imperial Japan, in order to defeat the Third Reich, the population was fair
Fucking
game.
crybaby.
And the population...
Wiggin needs all them other guys to
city
fight his
after
battle with
city
me. He can't
needed
take
to
me
be
one-on-one.
destroyed in order to put the pressure
Just
on
like
these
JC.
governments
Doesn't dare leave the front yard.
to either surrender or collapse. Almost since the beginning, Israel's been told
Wants me to
Not to
keep
do this
his
and not to
name
do
out of
that.
my mouth, but he's posting my name in
almost
Vegas.
since the beginning. Ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire. If they'd been left alone, this would have been over a long time ago, and the hostages would be out. They'd be out. But Israel's being asked to do the impossible. To feed the people of an enemy territory while those who run the enemy territory are trying to starve their own people. And at the same time, they're being told that they need to enter into a ceasefire. But the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom says, but Hamas can't remain in charge. You tell me how all this is to be achieved. You tell me. You tell me how to accomplish that. The moron who runs Britain has destroyed his own country, as have other prime ministers before him, with open borders. Britain has a real problem now with these radical Islamists, one of whom is the mayor of London, but they're the mayor of several cities in Britain.
Been saying it all along.
Britain is in decline. Britain's Western standards
There's
are being
fucking
usurped.
crime going on over there. They're not reporting.
Free speech is allowed as long as you attack Britain, but you better not question radical Islam. France's President Macron believes he owes his presidency to the radical Islamists. And ask yourself, what has France done? What has Britain done to try and defeat Hamas? What did they do with Iran other than appease Iran? We're perfectly willing for Iran to get nuclear weapons because they weren't willing to do anything about it. Should the United States go the way of Britain? Should the United States go the way of France? Should Israel destroy itself? A Palestinian state, exactly who would run this state? Exactly what would it look like? Exactly what would its boundaries be? Exactly how would you stop it from being another Gaza, but worse? These aren't proposals. These aren't rational policies. Israel is not going to surrender to its own destruction, no matter what the hell anybody says. But these people in our country, these influencers who influence nobody, including President Trump, nobody. They stand with the Islamists. They stand with the quisling Prime Minister of Britain. They stand with the quisling President of France. They stand with the Communist Chinese and Putin. They stand with the United Nations and UNRWA. If they know any history, and most of them are too stupid and illiterate to know anything, but if they know it, they also know they're lying. They're applying a standard to Israel that we would never, ever apply to ourselves, nor should we. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Folks, we're living in a time when America's most cherished values are being challenged. Values like faith, family, and freedom. And that's why I support AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. AMAC is the choice for Americans who care deeply about preserving the principles that have guided this nation for generations. As a member of the Association of Mature American Citizens, you'll receive access to fantastic benefits and discounts on travel, insurance, prescription services, as well as exclusive member-only tools and resources. And one of my personal favorites, the AMAC magazine, packed with meaningful content, insightful interviews, and updates you won't find anywhere else. Right now, you can join for as little as $1.20 a month. Hello, with a 5-year membership. That's an incredible value. So don't wait. Go to amac.us/live-in. That's amac.us/LEVIN. Become a member right away. Stand with AMAC. Help keep the values we hold dear going strong for future generations. That's amac.us/LEVIN.
In Greenbelt, watch out for accident activity in the Baltimore-Washington Parkway northbound before the Beltway. That has traffic jam from 202. Also, there is an accident in Kettering on Central Avenue at Enterprise Road. And in Seabrook, there is an accident on Good Luck Road at Cipriano Road. An accident on the freeway westbound after the 3rd Street Tunnel cleared. But in the district...
Oh, not sure how to answer that.
Road and Woodbark Lane due to a large sinkhole in the roadway. In the district, an accident now reported on Massachusetts Avenue at 9th Street in Northwest. Now from GarageRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 78. Tomorrow, sunny and hot, highs around 100. Heat index values as high as 104.
A Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
If you are like most people, you've probably spent a lot of time on your phone.
Oh,
maybe you missed out on getting some things done.
First option 1, if you think the sweater vest guy at the top is the same as Nambla throat baldy pubes guy at the bottom.
Users unsurprisingly engage more with their smartphone when it is easily accessible. The amount of time spent on work and non-work activities and the fragmentation of their workday does not seem to depend on the smartphone's accessibility.
I can't enlarge.
In other words, people distract themselves.
I've been looking for that picture. I have it and I can't find it.
The best thing you can do is to set some boundaries about when, where, and how you use your phone. I have found that setting up some VIP alerts, for example, for certain people, that has helped me a lot.
That is not Photoshop.
To just not be so distracted. A lot of things can wait. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
When it's time to scale your business, it's time for Shopify. Get everything you need to.
You know, you guys posting the word winning.
All the way.
They ain't winning.
Stack more sales with the
just come on.
Planet. Track your cha-chings from every.
Come in here with a brand new account
and turn real-time reporting into big-time opportunities. Take your business to a whole new level. Switch to Shopify.
You don't even say hi to Billy.
Free trial today.
Totally ignore me. I should time your dumb ass out.
Should be easy. But if you have undiagnosed COPD,
but I would have to assume you might be rusty, so I can't. I don't know.
If you have symptoms,
but I'm looking at his channel,
talk to your doctor and visit.
And I had this picture, and I've been looking for that other picture, and I got a feeling it's on one of the phones that went up on me. I had a couple phones, they shit the bed.
I had to learn to live with the scars, both visible and invisible.
DAV helps veterans like Latoya get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year.
My victory is overcoming my wounds so I can help other veterans.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
I was choosing alcohol over my family. That's when I made the call. Now I'm finding better ways to cope.
Mental health care works when you make the call. Visit mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Around-the-clock updates and uncommon understanding.
Listen to this, because this stuff is going on behind the scenes and you don't know about it.
News Talk 105.9.
I know, dear. It's all good. We'll see. It's all good. I'm sorry.
Check out one.
No. Just don't say sorry. I talked to your mom, remember, a couple times. You just got the call. I heard it's good enough. You know what? This year I'm gonna call Jesus Christ, but my blue here. My blues, you know what? I could've walked up and last time. Cause my blue here. My blues,
On the Twink show, your thermometer will tell you it's
this. That misunderstanding. I won't understand. I know, dear. Well, okay. It's all good. You'll see. That's all. I won't understand. Yes, what happened? You said from the last. No. I'm sorry. No. Don't say sorry. I talked to your mom, remember, a couple of times. I'm not understanding. Sorry. I will have a conversation, okay? I'm not understanding. Here's the I've got the call. I heard it's good. You know what? Here's the I've got the call. Because my blue here. My blues, you know what? I could've walked up and last time. Because my blue here. My blues, you could've walked up and last time. What I'm saying is, that misunderstanding. I won't understand. I know, dear. Well, okay. It's all good. You'll see. That's all. I won't understand. Yes, what happened? You said from the last. No. I'm sorry. No. Just.
weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you can be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected.
That's Colin, by the way. I'm going to get back to it here in a minute because Colin wants my attention. So I'm going to give this motherfucker my attention.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/today. Ethos.com/today.
I'm going to give this motherfucker my attention.
Credit cards, one of the most secure and hassle-free ways to pay. But DC politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Tell Congress to guard your card because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
WNALFM, Woodbridge, Washington.
I know, dear. It's all good. I'll see. I'm sorry. No.
Not rotating.
Your mom remember a couple of times. My blues, you know I could have walked up the last time. Because my blues here. My blues, you could have walked up the last time. What I'm saying is, that misunderstanding, I won't understand. I know, dear. Well, okay. It's all good. You'll see. That's all. I won't understand. Yes, what happened? You said from the last, I'm sorry. No. Just don't say sorry. I talked to your mom, remember, a couple of times. I'm not understanding. Sorry. I will have a conversation, okay? I'm not understanding. Here's the I've got the call. I heard it's good enough. You know what?
That's Colin.
My blues, you know I could have walked up the last time. Because my blues here. My blues,
That screenshot come from Candy's panel because he was in Candy's chat and she sang happy birthday to him. And he turned his camera on. I was watching when he did it. Fuck you, Carlisle, you punk motherfucker.
Again,
along with some new ones, and paid close attention
Fucking
to
welfare
ones they
prick.
focused on longer. If they focused more on ones they'd seen before, that probably meant they had some memory of it, even though they're obviously unable to articulate that and unable to recall that memory.
Oh, Wigan, I gave that wrench back to Patrick, New York. See, I know things, Wigan. I know things.
It seems that babies can make the memory.
And I see things.
They just have a hard time recalling when they grow up. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
You underestimate people. That's why you're a dumb fuck.
Most people would rather assemble a 300-piece
You can't do shit to me, Wigan.
That's why the Zebra searches for you, comparing over 100 insurance.
Other than report me if I restream you or your fucking friend JC. You gotta protect JC. That's your fucking golden goose right there. You gotta have that chat for sure. You got that locked right down, boy. I tell you what, you've been fighting for JC for years now, Wigan. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Making sense of your world.
This is no conspiracy theory. This is a fact. Here it is.
Mark Levin, weekdays 6 to 9 p.m.
Listen to this.
I've out-trolled you, Wigan. Outsmarted you. You thought you were doing something fucking smart, and you got beat at your own game.
I sing. You don't understand. I never sing. I'm not good at singing. I'm the only person I know who's been booed off a karaoke stage. But that was before I was pregnant. Today, I'm a singer with a captive audience.
I don't use people like you do, Wigan.
She never will.
I don't chew them like a piece of gum and then spit them out.
Find out how we can help you.
That's what you do.
Baby at marchofdimesbaby.org.
You gotta have that woman there in your house because you don't know what to do on a computer. I don't know what kind of engineer you claim you are. What'd you do? One thing in a fucking manufacturing facility somewhere, or what? Flashing all that money. Oh, yeah. Impressive.
Thank God for the free world, the real free world.
It's the only reason Alicia is there is because of that money right there.
He's on Air Force One today.
It's like catnip.
And of course, the media.
Yeah. And she's a cat. And she's fishing.
Hamas. That's the bottom line.
Fuck you, Wigan.
Cut 8. Go.
I mean, is there any use at all in pressuring Israel now to come to some sort of longer-term solution? Or at least could make the case that you're rewarding people, that, you know, you're rewarding Hamas if you do that. And I don't think they should be rewarded. So I'm not in that camp, to be honest. We'll let you know where we are, but I am not in that camp. Because if you do that, you really are rewarding Hamas. And I'm not about to do that.
Now, how clear thinking is that? Look at the West. Look at these Quislings. You wonder why Marxism is on the rise? You wonder why Islamism is on the rise? You wonder why these hitherto parliamentary democracies are crumbling? This is why. There are two strong democracies left. We're a republic, constitutional republic. Israel is a parliamentary democracy. Because they have two strong leaders. Two strong leaders. I mean, it's easy to throw in with the crowd. Easy. And the overwhelming evidence that Hamas is starving its own people, the way Mao starved his own people, the way Stalin starved his own people, the way Putin is destroying his own people. This is the nature of these.
Nobody cares, Will.
Regimes.
Doesn't matter. You're triggered.
Fascism,
and so isn't Wigan. Welcome to the
do.
fucking room of pain, Will
Because
Durant.
the rulers,
you punk
exist for the
motherfucker,
rule.
Will Durant. Fuck you.
now keep in mind,
You gotta suck Wigan's ass.
the political radical Islamists believe that the next life is the better life. That you're dying.
How did you manage
for
to
the
eat
cause.
your head out of his ass? Come in
Suicide
here,
bomber.
Will Durant. There,
As an example.
Prince. He gave you the crown
So
and
if you're
took it
directing-
away. I'm listening to this, so shut up.
That other Muslims, Palestinians, die for the cause. You're actually undertaking a very
Time to
holy
get
act.
something to eat, actually.
A very holy act. This is what the morons, like the British, this is what the morons, like the phony influencers, podcasters, this is what they don't get. And they're never going to get. They're not serious thinkers. They have no guts. They're not profound in any respect. They don't understand history. They don't understand political radical Islam. They don't understand Marxism. Worst of all, they don't understand Americanism. Here's this Keir Starmer today at a press event about recognizing a Palestinian state. Now, let me ask you something. When Hamas hears that, what do you think Hamas is going to do, Mr. Producer? We all know. They're going to quadruple down on the death of their own people. Because for the people who run Hamas and are Hamas, it's their existence that matters. They're righteous. They're holy. They're serving God. And if more people have to die, then more people have to die. If children have to die, then children have to die. They're stealing the food. They're stealing the medicine. They're killing people who are trying to get to the food. They've killed 10 volunteers associated with the United States and Israel trying to get the food to the people who need it. Israel has given data, provable evidence of the amount of food Israel has moved into Gaza. Tons and tons and tons of it. The only nation ever in the history of war to feed the citizens of that with whom they are warring against when they were attacked. We never did it, nor should we have. The British never did it. The French never did it because they were never on the winning side. But you get the point. It's never been done. We didn't bomb Dresden and feed the people in Dresden. We obliterated them. We didn't attack Berlin and then feed the people in Berlin. We didn't attack Hiroshima and then feed the people in Hiroshima. Nagasaki. Tokyo. Crazy. Israel must do more. Must do more. Tiny country with a small economy, but they must do more. They're still fighting Hamas. They still can't get their hostages out. Their hostages have been brutalized, murdered. They're starving to death. And they have to feed the citizens of the enemy, which they're trying desperately to do, while Hamas, which began the whole thing, is stealing the food, selling the food, threatening the Palestinians, and killing the Palestinians. I would ask this to the podcasters and the narcissistic phony influencers. How many IDF soldiers died today? How many? They're with the foggiest idea. How many died yesterday? Fighting this war with Hamas. How many? They have no idea. How many have died altogether? Almost 1,000. Almost 1,000. A 1,000 in Israel. It's like 40,000 in the United States. Have any of these people given a damn about the young people who came out of the restaurants as waiters and waitresses? The young people who came out of their high schools and universities and had to put on the uniform to fight these barbarians? Do you ever hear them talk about them? Ever? Never. Has the Prime Minister of Britain talked about them? No. The President of France? No. Have these phony, fraud podcasters with their stupid little videos, have they talked about them? Not once. Never. Never. Israel has traded, 3,000 prisoners for hostages, including murdered hostage bodies? We would never do that. They've done that. They've done that. But they have to do more. It'll never be enough. It'll never be enough. Hamas knows how to work the American media and the European media. They know how to work the wire services like AP and Reuters. They know how to work the New York Times and the Washington Post. They know how to work them all. They know how to work the isolationist anti-Semites in our country. They know how to work the Democrats and the self-hating Jews. They do. They have their front groups here like CARE, Students for Justice in Palestine. They're all over the place. Thank you, Democrats. Reopen borders. They're all over the place. And with this blood libel constantly, incessantly being used, this explains the wild expansion of anti-Semitism. As I've said, as I've written in American Marxism, now Israel is the oppressor, even though it's attacked, even though they want to wipe the Jews off the face of the earth, even though they talk about the river to the sea, even though they're trying to get nuclear weapons to blow them off the face of the earth, even though they say that, even though they are attacked. They are attacked by Hezbollah. They are attacked by the Houthis. They are attacked by Hamas with the backing of Iran. But the pressure's on Israel. I'm not even going to play this PM Keir Starmer, who always talks like he's burping. You know, there's very eloquent people who speak the English language in Britain. It's almost melodious, isn't it? But then there are the crude ones who sound like they're burping all the time. And that would be this guy Starmer, who's hated in his own country. Who's hated in his own country. So the UN is organizing to demand a two-state solution. Is that okay? And that Israel must do more. But whatever it does, it must do more, get out the hostages, prevent Hamas from running Gaza, doing all of it while it basically agrees to a ceasefire.
When I'm done eating, I'll be with you.
Folks realize that Stephen Witkoff, I've been no fan of his, has tried to get a ceasefire, that the Qataris, a terrorist state that has bought off more politicians in America than I care to count, more businesses, more lawyers and lobbyists, more talk show hosts, that they can't supposedly get their client terrorists to agree, so that the United States walked away and Israel had to walk away, and they didn't want to walk away. They want their hostages out. But as I said weeks ago, what is it that's holding Hamas back? If the Israeli hostages get out, then Hamas has no leverage. They were never going to give the hostages, all of them, back. The president says this now too. But it's Israel's fault. It's Israel's fault. I'll be right back.
Much love in.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news. Your phone has a lot of apps, but how many of them help you make sense of your world? The new WMAL app gives you the latest headlines, perspective from the voices you trust, and weather info to keep you in the know, all without having to remember yet another password.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Stream your favorite shows, get the day's top headlines, and access our podcast archives, all with the new WMAL app.
Thank you.
Get the WMAL app today on Google Play or the Apple App Store, and stay connected.
I'm Taylor, 32, and I'm a catering chef. Some say cooking is hard. I say finding the right business tool is harder. Until I found QuickBooks. Now my confidence is on fire. Every task that burned me out, like matching business transactions, taken care of. This duo is chef's kiss. More time for my catering business means more time for growth. For a limited time, get 90% off QuickBooks Online, Advanced, and Payroll for 3 months. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Kiana, and I leveled up my business with Shopify. Once I figured out that Shopify was a thing, I never turned back. I can create a site with my eyes closed. Shopify thinks ahead of us, and it thinks about the customer more than anything. Every day I'm thinking about some other new business, but Shopify is doing it to me because it's so easy to use. It's like I can't stop. I'm addicted.
Start your free trial at Shopify.com.
A better life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Even in the middle of summer, heated workouts are all the rage among people who really like to break a sweat. Heated yoga, Pilates, spin classes, you name it. But I think the question is, do you get more bang for your buck working out when the thermostat is cranked up, or is that all in your head? Experts we talked to about this said heated workouts do increase blood flow and warm your muscle tissue, which can enhance flexibility. And in addition to reducing stiffness and potentially preventing injuries, the elevated temperature slightly boosts cardiovascular demand, so you may be burning more calories than a regular workout. That said, what's even more important is paying attention to technique, putting in the effort, and being consistent to reap the rewards. You're likely, again, to get a small mental boost from the heat-related endorphin release, but you just got to really make sure to stay hydrated. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
Happy kids heal faster. That's why Starlight Children's Foundation delivers happiness through gaming, toy deliveries, and more to hospitals across the country. Learn more at starlight.org.
My baby brother, a father.
Come on, it's time for his nap. Whoa, he can't sleep on his stomach. Babies should always sleep on their backs in a safety-approved crib, and the sleep area should be clear of blankets, toys, and other loose or soft items. It reduces the risk of SIDS.
SIDS?
You know, sudden infant death syndrome.
Guess I need to start studying up on safe sleep for little man here. Being his favorite uncle comes with big responsibilities.
For more information, visit safetosleep.nichd.nih.gov, sponsored by the Eunice Kennedy Shriver National Institute of Child Health and Human Development.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
If you're with one of the big three wireless carriers, you're really overpaying for your service. You're paying for thousands of retail stores you never go into. You're paying for unnecessary perks you never use. You're paying a massive premium for what you think is superior 5G service. Guess what? Pure Talk uses the same 5G network on the same 5G towers. The only difference, they don't charge you for any of the garbage. Instead, Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, plenty of data for just $25 a month. That's less than half the price of the big guys during a time when saving a buck really matters. I am a Pure Talk customer. I made the switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So folks, do this right now from your cell phone. Dial pound 250. Say Mark Levin. It's that simple. And you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. You can switch over to Pure Talk in as little as 10 minutes. Dial pound 250. Say keyword Mark Levin to switch to Pure Talk. Wireless by Americans for Americans.
Making sense of your world.
Thank you for what you do.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
You give me hope.
Making sense of the news. Breaking news and the inside story on 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Tomorrow, I will be on WJNO, West Palm Beach, with our buddy Brian Mudd. I'll be on Fox News Radio with my buddy Brian Kilmeade. We will be on the Fox News Channel, America's Newsroom, with Hemmer and Perino at 10:30 on Fox. We'll be on WBAP in Dallas. We'll be on KTTH in Seattle. I want to thank all of our friends. We are now in Barnes & Noble. We're in Books A Million, Sam's Club, Costco. We're in Target. We are in Walmart and, of course, Amazon.com. And I encourage you to grab a copy as soon as you can. I want to talk about it more at length. You know, Sean Hannity has said everybody's interviewed, he had made the point. We had Larry O'Connor today. He made the point. We had just great folks. And they all were making the point that this book is quite different. This book is remarkable in many respects. On one hand, it's a lasting explanation, a deep explanation, philosophical and historical.
Oh, to just whack
But
my
this issue of
fucking
power
knee.
that people don't discuss enough, and certainly don't discuss it in the right application. And yet at the same time, as Sean says, it's ripped from the headlines. There's a reason for this. Liberty's ripped from the headlines, tyranny's ripped from the headlines, but this is deeper than that. The struggle that goes on in humanity, especially in culture and government, is a struggle over power. That's what it is. It's not even a struggle over liberty and rights. It's a struggle over power that determines whether you have liberty and rights. And that's what the Revolutionary War was fought for. And that's what your Constitution is all about. And that's the battle taking place in New York with Mondani, taking place in Minneapolis, taking place throughout the country, throughout the world. What makes us different? This country different. We are different. This country is better. Thanks to the nature in which it was founded. We were a blank slate, as John Locke said. We didn't have a history of feudalism. We didn't have a history of any of these isms. America was a blank slate. The continent was a blank slate. And so the Marxists in our academia, the Marxists in the Democrat Party, they hate it. They hate it. The political Islamists, they hate it. They hate it. They hate your liberty. They hate your individuality. They hate your free will. They hate what you accomplish when it comes to merit and success, which is why they attack it. They try and control how we speak of each other. It's always through the eyes of racism and wokeism and someism. They don't want a united America. They want a disunited America. They import individuals into the country who are not assimilating into our country. They destroy our educational system, which has as its main feature the assimilation of people into the country to build support for our founding and the morals in this country. Everything they touch turns to crap. Why? Because they're trying to destroy the society. That's the fundamental transformation, not of government, but of society. And what does that mean? That's the fundamental transformation of you into free-thinking, able-bodied, vigorous individuals, into obedient people, into people who are on the take and on the dole, where you serve essentially at the direction of your masters, the ruling class. That's the battle. The Democrat Party's all in with Marxism, and it's opened its doors to Islamism. That's why I wrote the book American Marxism. That's what they are. That's who they are. Everything they propose is intended to steal your free will. Steal the fact that you're the sovereign, not them. This is why they want to control the grocery stores, the housing market, property. This is why they want to eliminate successful people, not just billionaires. It's why they hate merit. This is why they accuse merit of being racism. You're going to learn about this and a ton more in this book on power. Why these things are happening, what we can do to push back, because we have to. The question is whether the tremendous presidency of Donald Trump is a respite or is a new trajectory. My fear is it's a respite. But it will be a respite if we don't organize our arguments and go on the offensive, because all of this is a battle of ideas. That's what it is. It's a battle of ideas. Either we'll win the battle or we'll lose the battle. And running around and just saying liberty and free markets isn't going to be enough. That's the point of the book on power. What if you could delay your next 2 mortgage payments? That's right. Imagine putting those 2 payments in your pocket and finally getting a little breathing room. It's possible when you call our friends at American Financing right now. If you're feeling stretched by everyday expenses, particularly those damn credit cards and the massive interest you're paying on that, with the balance that just keeps rolling over. Many of you, there probably doesn't seem a way out, but there is. American Financing can show you how to use your home's equity to pay off that debt. Even if you think your home's equity, that is your mortgage rate, is low, when you figure in your credit card rates, it's not that low. So the point is to combine, consolidate your debt and get it into the lowest interest rates you can, and that's where American Financing comes in. And remember, up to $40,000 in interest on your mortgage is tax deductible, up to 40. Their salary-based mortgage consultants are helping homeowners just like you in this audience restructure their loans, consolidate their debt without any upfront fees. And their customers are saving on average $800 a month. That's $10,000 a year. It's fast, it's simple, and it could save your entire budget this summer. Call American Financing. They're there right now. 888-900-1828. Hello. 888-900-1828. 888-900-1828. Or visit AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
All right, we've got tons more, and I shall return.
Making sense of your world.
I can't believe this.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
And I am so with you.
Making sense of the news.
What would you do if your online store converted 36% more shoppers? You could take 36% more
Cleaning.
vacation.
Another pina colada?
Yes, please.
Open a new retail location with 36% more
I better read my chat.
Hire 36% more help.
You're hired and you're hired.
Shopify has the world's best converting checkout, up to 36% better than other e-commerce platforms. What you do with those extra sales is up to you. Switch to Shopify today at shopify.com/listen and get a $1 trial. Shopify.com/listen.
A Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Health misinformation is running rampant, maybe even more so than during the pandemic. Maybe that, or maybe we're just attuned to it. Some of it is probably just noise, and you know in the moment what you are watching or reading is wrong. But there's other articles and posts that can be really dangerous. You know, over the last few years, I came to admire the work of Laurel Bristow. She's an infectious disease researcher at Emory University, where I work, and she's made debunking false claims her mission on social media. To start with, if anything seems too good or too bad to be true, it probably is. She said this on a recent episode of my podcast, Chasing Life. Point being, trust your gut and don't fall into black and white thinking. Science rarely speaks in absolutes. And if someone's trying to sell you something, that's another big red flag. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
Hey, I'm Reba McEntire. In life, you'll hear a lot of people tell you that you can do anything you want. I'm here to tell you that's true. Since I was a little girl, I dreamed of becoming a successful singer and entertainer. It took a lot of hard work, dedication, and perseverance to find my success, but it was worth it. I never gave up on my dreams. Remember, you can never have a dream come true until you've had a dream. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 7. I'm Heather Curtis.
Everybody has dents in their head.
Lawmakers denied entry into a Baltimore ICE facility are looking for answers.
Stop hiding the ball. Open the doors. Don't stonewall us. Let us in so we can see for ourselves.
Along with Senators Chris Van Hollen, Angela Also Brooks, and others, Congressman Glenn Ivey told 7 News DHS asked the group to set up a tour a week out, which was done, but the scheduling didn't mean a thing.
Apparently not, from their perspective.
Republicans took issue with the effort by Ivey and the others. Freedom Caucus Chair Andy Harris tweeting, Maryland Democrats never on the side of law and order, always on the side of illegals. Ivey says he and the others were only there to check on conditions.
The idea is sunlight is the best disinfectant. Let us go see.
Scotland on WMAL and WMAL.com.
With energy prices rising fast, Maryland's joining several other states to sue the region's electric grid operator, PJM.
Maryland Governor Wes Moore pounding the podium.
Standing with these other states and pursuing a lawsuit against PJM to lower costs and make this a fairer process.
The governor rejecting PJM's claim that green energy policy is driving up your electric bill, telling Fox 45.
There is no data that shows what PJM is saying is true.
PJM has projected both energy costs and energy demand to skyrocket, with a 5% increase in electric bills expected. Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
Meanwhile, the Department of Energy approved PJM's emergency request to keep an oil-fired unit at the Wagner Power Plant in Anne Arundel County online through October. It comes weeks after the Maryland Freedom Caucus wrote to Secretary Chris Wright urging him to allow the plant to remain operational
to prevent widespread power outages. The caucus wrote to Governor Wes Moore today, saying the DOE's action isn't enough to alleviate the state's energy crisis. They're urging him to do more, including suspending energy mandates that are forcing power plants to close and supporting repowering recently shuttered plants to natural gas. We've reached out to the governor's office for comment, but haven't heard back. The Arlington County school system's digging into its pockets to cover the costs of uncollected lunch money.
Students are in a deficit of nearly $250,000 in the last school year, and about 80% of that total came from students who have since graduated. The National School Lunch Program requires systems to make reasonable efforts to collect unpaid debt. And while Arlington has several collection methods, it does not sue families for non-payment. The county does feed students who are behind on payments, but they're not allowed to order extra items. The county also does not punish students who are in arrears. In some places, students are barred from after-school activities or required to do chores. John Matthews on WMAL and WMAL.com.
A judge orders 8 of Governor Glenn Youngkin's university board appointees, including former Virginia Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli, immediately removed from their seats at UVA, George Mason, and VMI. Virginia Senate Democrats sued, arguing the appointments were invalid because the legislature had rejected them. The judge said the public interest lies in upholding the legislature's power to confirm gubernatorial picks. An attorney for the appointees plans to appeal. This comes as the Trump administration investigates George Mason's hiring practices, and UVA's president resigned under DOJ pressure. Harvard University may be willing to strike a deal with President Trump. The White House reportedly wants $500 million in exchange for the restoration of more than $2 billion in federal funding the administration froze over concerns Harvard failed to protect Jewish students and faculty. Traffic and weather next.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you got to hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe, and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free, so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
Here's Michelle Murray in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
Slow-going traffic on DC 295 northbound between the 11th Street Bridge and East Capitol Street. And now an accident is reported northbound before Eastern Avenue, southbound of Slocum Burroughs Avenue towards East Capitol Street. And you will still find delays right now in the district on the freeway between the 14th Street Bridge and Main Avenue. And also in Southeast Southern Avenue, still shut down between Stewart Road and Woodbark Lane due to a large sinkhole in the roadway. Beltway still a slow go, beginning in Tyson's on the inner loop from 123 to the Spur, and from Old Georgetown Road to New Hampshire Avenue. And the outer loop is heavy from Van Dorn Street to the Wilson Bridge. Now from GarageRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch Sun forecast.
This evening, 80 to 87 degrees. By morning, we're down to 70 to 74 with patchy fog. But another hot day. Wednesday will be the last of our long heat wave. 92 to 99 degrees. It'll feel like 100 to 107 degrees. 7 News Chief Meteorologist Veronica Johnson in the First Alert Weather Center.
Right now, 92 degrees in Washington. I'm Heather Curtis on WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Mark Levin.
We've once again made contact with our leader, Mark Levin.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Number 877-381-3811. 877-381-3811. We covered the killer, came out of Las Vegas, who murdered the police officer. 3 beautiful civilians. And now we know he was heading for the NFL headquarters, even though he never played for the NFL. He had mental issues. We know this much. And there's been a lot of talk, a lot of speculation about what could have been done, what should have been done. But you know what, folks? Sometimes it's hard to prepare for every possible contingency. It just is. That buildings seemed a bit impenetrable, right? You needed passes to get on the elevator and this, that, and the other. But sometimes these things are just unstoppable. Usual gun control people are out there. Of course, they weren't out there the other day when a guy pulled his gun and stopped other people being stabbed or potentially murdered with a knife. But it's time to ignore those people. They're meaningless. They mean nothing. They mean nothing. I mean, people have used bombs, they've used fertilizer, they've used all kinds of stuff. Remember that attack on the Jews who were protesting the holding of the hostages and the 85-year-old woman died? When he basically turned gas canisters into flamethrowers, he didn't have a gun. But I'm sick of that debate. I truly am. I'm sick and tired of it because it won't save a single life. When you have maniacs who want to do things that maniacs do. If you want to kill somebody, you're not sitting there worried about the gun laws. There's over 300 million guns in our country. The same people who say they want gun laws have supported open borders. Where do they think all these illegal guns come from? Many of them manufactured in communist China and other communist regimes. They pour over our border. Open borders. And what's amazing is I'm the only one that ever mentions this, ever. So that was horrendous what happened. Horrendous. I want to go into our survivability as a people, as a republic. And I want to continue to keep hitting on this because I think that's the import of this platform. Provide information, perhaps edification that you wouldn't get in high school or college or anywhere else. Things move fast. People like shiny objects, particularly those who have microphones, and it's unfortunate. So let's start here, because it's very important. The basis for America's founding and the ideology of the American Marxists are utterly incompatible. Indeed, this is at the heart of the competition for governing power, or more accurately, the power struggle that exists today and has for 100 years or more. That is, two opposite and irreconcilable worldviews about the individual and humanity itself competing for power. There is no liberty without rights, and rights precede government. That's the point of your declaration. However, the societal effectuation and earthly manifestation of those rights are determined by power, negative or positive power. Out of societies, nations are established, some imposed, some with the consent of the people, some more spontaneous than others, some more gradual than others, some civil, some primitive, you name it. Not all societies establish governments, but all societies establish a hierarchy in one form or another, and in one way or another. In the civil society, the purpose is to secure and protect both the unalienable rights of each individual and those of the community of individuals who voluntarily come together for that purpose. It's John Locke. Just laws are adopted by the consent of the people, meaning a majority of the society's members, but the majority is to represent the best interests of the entire society. Although the civil society is distinct from government, the government is to reflect the purposes and character of the civil society. And by the way, this is why the Marxists and the Islamists attack the civil society, the culture. That is, the foundations that undergird the government. The civil society and the character of the government is to safeguard it, and again, the unalienable rights of the individual in society. And there's more. Let's see here. Sovereignty is in the individual and the people, not the government. Sovereignty is in the individual and the people, not the government. That's the way it's supposed to work. No government is legitimate, but for the consent of the people. None. Therefore, representative government is imperative. It checks the rulers and serves the people through elections. Limited government is the only kind of government that can possibly reflect and respond to the will of the people. Massive bureaucracies with hundreds of departments and agencies populated by millions of employees making and issuing regulations, which are laws, without input from the people, conflicts with representative government and functions without the consent of the people. Importantly, people outside the government are to be represented by the people inside the government. How is this possible under the circumstances I just explained to you? The government today is increasingly devouring the private sector. This is why they want to get rid of capitalism and the market system in private grocery stores. That is, it is devouring the civil society. It is becoming a power unto itself, that is the government. Here's the key. The founders and the framers believed and understood that governments are formed to protect our natural rights. That's what is positive power. Positive power.
Go read
When
John
members
Locke.
of the ruling class besmirch and degrade the Constitution they swore to uphold, as many of them do, for their own aggrandizement or ideological designs, they are in fact intent on diminishing, if not eradicating, the rights of the people and their consensual role in the government. That is the entire purpose of America's founding. There's no escaping this is the project mostly of the Democrat Party, their media surrogates, and like-minded ideologues in academia and entertainment. And let me emphasize, the framers themselves understood that the Constitution might need adjustment on occasion. I'm reading from On Power. And in Article 5, they provided the two processes for amending it. Now, these amendment processes intentionally involve the entire body politic and required consent. They also require supermajorities to adopt proposed amendments. This is a far cry from members of the ruling class, whether judges, legislators, or presidents, altering the Constitution by assertion or, more likely, the manipulation, deceit, and stealth, and shrouding it in constitutional and legal language, or concealing it within the haze of bureaucratic red tape. This is a mutinous encroachment on the rights of the individual, the civil society, and the Constitution that was intended to secure and protect them. Again, I'm reading from On Power. I turn to Marxism, which, despite its various versions, provides the greatest, albeit not exclusive, threat to the American experiment. In fact, Marx directly and often denounced natural law and individual liberty, as all would-be autocrats must. For example, from the Communist Manifesto, and I'm quoting, he said, "The selfish misconceptions that induce you to transform into eternal laws of nature," he hated the declaration, "and of reason, the social forms springing from your present mode of production and form of property, capitalism, historical relations that rise and disappear in the progress of production, the misconception you share with every ruling class that has preceded you." So what he's saying there is all history is about material and economics, and all history is lousy. And you, with your Declaration of Independence in America, you continue in a long line of lousy histories. What you see clearly in the case of ancient property, what you admit in the case of feudal property, you are, of course, forbidden to admit in the case of your own bourgeois form of property. This is Bernie Sanders. Mandami. By now, this should be familiar, not only because of the earlier discussion of Marxism I write about in the book, but the earlier highlights from Woodrow Wilson's writing, where he condemned the Declaration as antiquated, and the Constitution is both antiquated and a barrier to modernity and progress. For Marx and his progeny, the current Democrat Party, the idea of individual rights is a problem. It is, he argues, intended to keep individuals as islands unto themselves, disconnected and isolated from each other. Each jealously guards his own interests, including property, sees others as adversaries and antagonists, rather than a part of a society or a social being. This produces a dehumanized and hollow man, according to Marx. Remarkable considering what we know about Marxism's unspeakable inhumanity. For the broader society, Marx contends that capitalism produces neither liberty nor equality, but inequality and self-centeredness. To be truly eliminated, he says, the individual must go through not only a political transformation, but a social revolution, that is, cutting all social bonds to religion and even family, destroying the existing society, remaking human beings, everything they have been taught, experienced, and think. After all, Marx alleges, the bourgeoisie, that is, the wealthy, control all aspects and nature of the political and social arrangements that spring from capitalism. Therefore, every bit of it must be eradicated. He writes this from the Communist Manifesto. With respect to the family, you wonder why the nuclear family is under attack? Because it's one of the key areas that need to be under attack, according to Marx in the Communist Manifesto. He said, abolition of the family, even the most radical flare-up at this infamous proposal of the communists. On what foundation is the present family, the bourgeois family, based? On capital, on private gain. It is completely developed form. This family exists only among the bourgeoisie. But this state of things finds its complement in the practical absence of the family among the proletarians and in public prostitution. The bourgeois family will vanish as a matter of course when its complement vanishes, and both will vanish with the vanishing of capital. So eliminate capitalism, eliminate the relationship between parents and children, which you see going on in our public schools, backed by radical judges, backed by the Biden administration and Democrats. The bourgeois family will vanish as a matter of course. Do you charge us with wanting to stop the exploitation of children by their parents, says Marx? To this crime we plead guilty. But you say we destroy the most hallowed of relations when we replace home education by social. And your education? Is not that also social and determined by the social conditions under which you educate? By the intervention, direct or indirect, of society by means of schools? He says the communists have not invented the intervention of society in education. They do but seek to alter the character of that intervention and to rescue education from the influence of the ruling class. In this case, he means parents. The bourgeois claptrap about the family and education, about hallowed correlation of parents and children, becomes all the more disgusting, writes Marx. The more, by the action of modern industry, all the family ties among the proletarians are torn asunder, their children transformed into simple articles of commerce and instruments of labor. Now you know where the hate for the family, the nuclear family, comes from. Now you know why the effort to deconstruct it in every respect. Now you also know why transgenderism is considered a right. The power to destroy not just the government, this is from on power, but the deep and broad roots of an entire society, faith, values, beliefs, family, friendships, other relationships, and extinguish the knowledge, learning, lifestyles, habits, and ties between fellow human beings and a human existence. Predictably requires not just a revolution, but a horrifically violent social and societal convulsion, followed by unending and unbounded acts of genocidal and psychotic tyranny. This is what you get in Marx's regime, which eventually consumes itself. Eventually consumes itself. Indeed, not a single Marxist regime has ever or will ever shake off its despotism or despots, the supposed final stage of societal development. I explained to you that Marxism was defective in every respect from the beginning. The assumption that there can never be a middle class. You are the middle class and you would defend this country with your lives. They never realized that till he saw America. The final stage of humanity, this paradise, or the workers' paradise where government is thrown off. There is no final stage of humanity on earth. Men evolve and devolve. There's nothing static about it. So these ideologies that keep talking about the final stage, the workers' paradise, equity, and so forth, they're lies. This is On Power. Grab your copy at Amazon.com. We'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
A Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Don't worry, be happy. It's a mantra I try to live by. It's also one of my favorite songs. Well, this year's World Happiness Report honed in on benevolence and people's expectations of their communities. What the report found was that 70% of the world's population did at least one kind thing in the last month. Donated money, volunteered, did something nice for a stranger. Doing good feels good. Acts of generosity predict happiness even more than a higher salary, a certain poll found. You can make the most impact with the 3 C's. When you perform your kind act, you should aim to connect with someone else. You should do it by choice, meaning because you want to, not because you have to. And whatever it is you do, you should do it for a clear sense of positive impact. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
Oh, hey, if this sounds very familiar, it's probably time for your shingle shot. Yep, if you're 50 or older, protect yourself from shingles, a painful rash that can last for weeks and even cause nerve damage. Shingrix vaccine is 97% effective, and it's available right now. See your provider or pharmacist, or visit KinneyDrugs.com to schedule today.
Do you know QuickBooks Online can streamline your business finances? With your financial accounts and apps in one place, you can easily see where your business stands, and clearer insights result in more confident business decisions. Get 90% off QuickBooks Online for 3 months. Limited time offer. Terms apply.
Hey, I'm Reba McIntyre. In life, you'll hear a lot of people tell you that you can do anything you want. I'm here to tell you that's true. Since I was a little girl, I dreamed of becoming a successful singer and entertainer. It took a lot of hard work, dedication, and perseverance to find my success, but it was worth it. I never gave up on my dreams. Remember, you can never have a dream come true until you've had a dream. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
What would you give for a child you loved? To make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. See, wishes are so powerful, and you can make them real. They can give a child back their childhood, even change the way they feel. Every single one of us can make the stars align, because when we come together, hope and joy will shine. Wishes need stars like you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
Around the clock updates and uncommon understanding.
Listen to this, because this stuff is going on behind the scenes and you don't know about it.
News Talk 105.9. Making sense of the news.
Hey folks, I've got something really special to share, and it's only for this week. At Blaze TV, we're calling this 4th of July No King's Day, because that's what it really is. It's the day we told King George to shove off and declared that we, the people, would govern ourselves. We didn't just leave a monarchy, we built something better, a constitutional republic, founded on liberty, individual rights, God-given freedom. No kings, no elites, just truth, law, and self-governance. So to celebrate, we're doing something we've never done before. Right now, you can get a 7-day free free trial at Blaze TV. Full access to every show, especially mine. Every uncensored voice for 1 whole week. No promo code, no risk. Just sign up and stream. Sign up right now. LEVINTV.com/LEVIN. Let freedom stream. That's LevinTV.com/Levin for your free 7-day trial. Paid subscription begins after trial. Cancel anytime. Restrictions apply. But see LevinTV.com for details. That's LEVINTV.com.
Making sense of your world.
Talk radio is where I get all of my information.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news. WMAL's Vince Colonnades. Weekdays at noon on 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
I hope the various discussions of the book on Fox with our wonderful friends and talk radio and passages we've discussed on this program have more than intrigued you. I hope you feel that they're going to inform you in a way that you can share it with your children and your grandchildren as a way to counter what's taking place in this country. We've got to explain what's taking place. We have to make sure that we win the day. And this human fight over government and culture and society comes down to the one word, power. And I just got thinking about this over time. That's the truth. We'll be right back.
Most people have no idea there's an invisible gap in their home's protection. This invisible threat is house stealing. Con artists pick a house. They transfer the deed of this house into their name by obtaining the forms, using the fake IDs, and filing the paperwork with proper authorities. Now they own the home. Protect your home from this invisible gap. Check on your home's title right now at HomeTitleLock.com. Be sure to use promo code RADIO, and they will send you a complete title scan of your home's title. And your first 30 days of triple lock title protection is free. HomeTitleLock.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan. But if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
In Greenbelt on the VW Parkway, the southbound side is slow from 193 Greenbelt Road to 410. On the Beltway inner loop in Bethesda, stop and go from Old Georgetown Road to New Hampshire Avenue. Onto the inner loop of the Beltway in Tyson's, jammed up between 123 and the 270 spur. On the outer loop of the Beltway in Alexandria, that's jammed up between Telegraph Road and the Wilson Bridge. And 95 southbound in Lorton, stop and go from the Lorton exit 123. And now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 78. Tomorrow, sunny and hot, highs around 100. Heat index values as high as 104.
A Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Is just the thought of spending time decluttering a room in your house enough to make you want to find something else, anything else to do with your weekend? Well, Mary Dozier is a psychology professor at Mississippi State University who specializes in hoarding. Whether you're trying to make a dent in your own home, maybe a parent's or a grandparent's, Dozier says start with this. Write out your values, and every object in your home should feel value consistent for you. Then, defining value consistent goals for using your space can help to maintain motivation as you declutter. Why are you looking to clear out this space? Maybe it's to have a place to work or cook or entertain. When your values conflict, then ask yourself whether keeping or discarding an object will bring you closer to your goals for the space. You'll know the right answer. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
Backyards, the perfect spot for fleas and ticks. No worries.
Chewy Pharmacy can help protect your pet all summer with flea and tick prevention meds delivered fast. Shop now at chewy.com.
U.S. soccer fans, get closer to the players, voices, and stories of the beautiful game with the U.S. Soccer Podcast. Megan Klingenberg, Alejandro Bedoya, and host David Gass bring you behind-the-scenes access to U.S. Soccer's 27 national teams, including exclusive interviews, stories, and spotlights. The U.S. Soccer Podcast is out now. Find it wherever you listen to podcasts.
I'm Taylor, 32, and I'm a catering chef. Some say cooking is hard. I say finding the right business tool is harder. Until I found QuickBooks. Now my confidence is on fire. Every task that burned me out, like matching business transactions, taken care of. This duo is chef's kiss. More time for my catering business means more time for growth. For a limited time, get 90% off QuickBooks Online, Advanced, and Payroll for 3 months. Terms and conditions apply.
I was choosing alcohol over my family. That's when I made the call. Now I'm finding better ways to cope.
Mental health care works when you make the call. Visit mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
75 years of research, 75 years of policy,
75 years of opportunity,
75 years of freedom.
This is 75 years of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. Join us at mda75.org.
I'm Paula Pan. I help people make the smartest money decisions possible because let's face it, money's too important to wing it.
What you'll hear is a couple money geeks sitting and talking about this stuff that we're so passionate about.
You name it, anything that's on your mind, retirement debt, student loans, saving for college.
It's a personal finance journey. It is a wide-ranging squirrel conversation about the topic of personal finance and good financial planning. Super fun.
Afford anything. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Making sense of your world.
Thank you for your clear insight.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
This is a major wake-up call.
Making sense of the news. WMAL, making sense of the forecast. Because you never know what Mother Nature has in store. Download the WMAL.
That's what's at my feeder. Just one of them. That's a goldfinch.
If you're trying to reach Mark on the air, call him at 877-381-3811. The Mark Levin Radio Show continues.
By popular demand, we're going to be posting as a separate segment on all my social media platforms my discussion about Israel, Gaza, World War II.
I have a ton of these.
And so on, and I hope you'll share it with as many people as you can.
They're brown in color. They got some black and white on them, some of them.
A little bit of context is always helpful.
They'll land right on me.
Yeah, a lot of context is helpful these days. Trust me. What's been taking place. I want to remind everybody, we're very excited about this. This Saturday is only a few days away. This Saturday at 1 p.m.
And yes, I have these finches
Books and
too.
Greetings located at Northvale Square in Northvale, New Jersey. Now, they don't know that, but I took a little drive-by there when I was in New York. We came out to New Jersey. It's a beautiful store in a strip mall. There's plenty of parking. They do a beautiful job. There's wonderful little restaurants there. It's a very historic town, since even before the Revolutionary War and during the Revolutionary War. You're going to love this place. So it's 1 p.m. this Saturday, Books and Greetings located in Northvale Square, Northvale, New Jersey. It's an independent, family-owned bookstore, and we always try to help that kind of a bookstore, so I hope you'll check it out. And then next Saturday, August 9th at 10 a.m., Barnes & Noble, which is doing a great job, a brand new Barnes & Noble, at the Spectrum at Reston Town Center in Reston, Virginia. I will be there, 10 a.m. That's August 9th, Saturday. We look forward to that. Of course, the Reagan Library is August 17th. I understand they still have openings if people want book signings, but not for the main room. So if you want to get your book signed, these are the only places you're going to get a signed book, these 3 locations. That's it. I'm more focused on what's in the book. What's in the book? And I really want you to take advantage of this book. I don't think you've ever heard me talk about a book this way. I don't think you've ever heard Sean talk about a book this way. The other wonderful folks we've talked to today, Clay and Buck, were fantastic. And Paul W. Smith in the Hall of Fame is fantastic. All these folks, Jimmy in Houston, just terrific. And I want to thank them again for allowing me on their programs. KRLA, just a great lineup there. And by the way, Julie with Larry O'Connor, I don't want to miss anybody. And the great KRLA, they do a great job. They really do. Again, thanks to all of you. Summer's all sunshine and smiles and road trips until, of course, the hot weather does damage to your car. It's the way it does. Your car's mechanical. It's electronic. It doesn't like heat. Wreaks havoc on your engine. And before you know it, you're waiting for roadside assistance. You're paying for costly repairs. You know, with Car Shield, it's like a concierge service. They take all that pressure off your shoulders. They do. The heat doesn't have to rob you of your summer fun. Broken AC, electrical problems, transmission. You know, these are common in high heat, and they're expensive to repair. Now's the time to put your faith in America's most trusted vehicle protection company, Car Shield. That's what I do. And shield yourself from pricey summer breakdowns. Car Shield's U.S.-based representatives are available to help you find the best options for your vehicles to fit your budget. Two very important things I just said in that sentence. Car Shield's U.S.-based representatives, so they don't shoot you to a phone line, you know, in the Philippines or Thailand or something. They're available to help you find the best options for your vehicle to fit your budget. So they're very conscious, budget conscious. Plus, if you call today, Car Shield is offering, and this is the big kicker, 20% off your plan. In other words, now's the time to strike 20% off your plan. Just call 800-995-4766. 800-995-4766. Get your free quote. No obligation. Get your free quote. Don't sweat this summer. Choose Car Shield. Get that 25% off right now. That's 800-995-4766. 800-995-4766, or go to carshield.com/Levin, carshield.com/LEVIN, 800-995-4766. Well, President Trump, he's laid down the law to Putin in Russia. They should have the isolationists very upset, of course. They should have this pro-Putin, pro-KGB isolationist very upset. There's this Colonel, what is that guy's name? Is it MacArthur? Is it McDonald? What is that guy's name I posted on Mr. Do you remember? See if you can find it. This guy is such a craphead. You know, and I think this guy, at least for a short period of time, was in the administration. You know, he's pushed by the usual isolationists, the hate America first crowd. And, you know, Donald Trump really is no different than Joe Biden. Another schmuck. Really different than Joe Biden. It's like as if we elected Joe Biden. These people are nuts. They're stupid. Stupid. Here's President Trump on Air Force One today. Cut 7, go.
You mentioned that you would change the Russia deadline to 10, 12 days. Has that started yet? Or when can we, see the official statement that is the new deadline?
I'll tell you what, I'll give it to you now. You want a big scoop?
Yes.
Everybody else, close your ears, okay? You ready?
I'm ready.
10 days today.
Got it.
Okay?
Got it.
We have a scoop. And then, we're going to put on tariffs and stuff, and I don't know if it's going to affect Russia, because he wants to obviously probably keep the war going. But we're going to put on tariffs and the various things that you put on. It may or may not affect them, but it could.
The gentleman I met yesterday was a driver. And he had a master's degree, and he was raised in communist Romania under Ceausescu. And, of course, thanks to Ronald Reagan, that government fell. He was executed along with his wife, who was even more wicked than he was. and a master's degree in our country. Very interesting gentleman. What happened was, after I did my Fox programs, and so appreciative of it, then I did my radio show, and at 9 p.m. Eastern, I got in a car and we drove all the way back to Virginia for 5 hours, and I wound up walking into our house at about 2:40 in the morning. And I got up for an interview around 7 in the morning. And so that's how I roll when I think big things are important. And he said to me, you know, Russia is a very big country. And he said, you know, people talk about Siberia and so forth. It happens to be a very beautiful country. Rivers and streams and mountains and valleys. But the communists, they've run it for over 100 years. Putin is effectively a communist or fascist, whatever ist you choose. And they could turn it into a massive tourist center. With skiing during the winter and water sports during the summer and beautiful architecture and so forth and so on. He said, but look what they're doing. They're killing their own people. Because he wants to take Ukraine. Killing their own people. Just like Hamas. Just like Stalin. Hamas. Killing their own people. Beautiful country, he says. And yet look. I had one person say to me today, correctly, but a majority of Americans aren't going to go for this Marxist Islamist stuff. It doesn't take a majority. None of these revolutions have been led by majorities. None of them. Not the Russian Revolution, not the Communist Chinese Revolution, the Third Reich, the Communist Castro guerrilla war in Cuba, Maduro in Venezuela. These aren't majoritarian movements. None of them. They're not majoritarian movements. It doesn't take a majority. It takes the power of a minority. That's the whole point. The power of a minority. And look at this guy Mondani. He got the Democrat Party nomination through a plurality, not a majority. And if he wins mayor, he's going to get it through a plurality, not a majority, because these three guys can't decide on one of them to get behind. So they'll divide the opposition. And if that happens, this guy will slip in with a plurality of the vote, not a majority, and he will use his status to destroy the city, empower himself, empower his party, his movement. I'll be right back.
Mark Lopin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
A Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Once you start to get serious, how long does it take to see results from your new workout routine?
I didn't take long. Hour and 43 minutes.
2 to 4 weeks, but it could take a couple of months.
Hey, Billy. Billy, it's me, Will Durant. How are you, Billy? It's me, Will Durant. Will Durant, I'm Will Durant, the biggest faggot on YouTube. Hey, Billy. How are you, Billy? I love John Wigan. I'm Will Durant, big homo who thinks he's a fucking legend. Yes, I'm a big faggot named Will Durant. You, Billy, you can't be like Wigan. He's my god. He's my fucking god. Ooh.
I thought he was the best streamer ever. No.
Will Durant, the biggest faggot ever. Yes, the biggest, baldest faggot on YouTube. No life. He puts together these gay little videos and he giggles while he does it. He probably jerks off making these little faggot videos he makes. You know what Wolfie told me once, Billy? This Will is the biggest fucking gayest loser that she's ever fucking seen on YouTube, man. She's so sick of these.
She won't come in here and say anything because it'll completely destroy the poor guy.
She's too busy. She's too busy doing other normal things in life, other than sitting around listening to this broadcast, waiting for God to come up here and fucking rip him to shreds.
Hey, Psych wouldn't let me back up after I was done last night. And what's that? The guy doing the push-ups. Do you know who that is?
Oh, I said Billy needs to fucking be up there taking on this guy. It'd be classic.
And I went to go out. I was backstage, but they wouldn't let me up, so I left.
Oh, he probably didn't see you. He's always spacing out.
He was sitting there with his headphones on, but I was gonna do some fucking push-ups for him.
That would have been a classic fucking runoff right there.
It was late for me, and I went to bed.
Will you in here jerking off, Will? You jerking off in here, Will? Will, why is it, Will, that you're fucking connected to women in here that want nothing to do with you? What happened to that, Will? Why is it that they seen fucking naked pictures of you and they all got disgusted? Well, you're a big fag. Admit it, dude. Just go to California, knock on Wiggins' door, and just say, Daddy, I'm home. Because that's what you want.
Can I have Daughter of Truth? Will you pass her to me, please?
Oh, she'll be all for it. She'll be all fucking for it. She likes to watch faggots. That's right. God is God, bitches. God is God. So what else is going on?
Now I forgot the favor I want to ask you.
Probably to make a picture of somebody.
Oh, holy fuck. Well, yeah, we need to put Will Durant and fucking Wigan together. That's fucking ain't right.
Oh, that's easy. That's fucking easy, dude. You can add that bald head to fucking anything.
Do the one where he's wearing the blue vest. He's a Jewish boy dressed up in that motherfucker. That's the real pick. All right. I've been trying to find that in my extensive library.
We call that the frustrated preppy look. That's a big look down there where he is.
That's better than them other ones that he fucking edited.
You know what he does? He goes to bars, right? And he sits alone in the corner of these bars that he goes to. He orders a drink, right? He orders like one drink. And then he sits there for the next 4 hours watching all the couples, wishing that he was with a girl and he could approach a girl or he could talk to a girl in real life. But he never does. He just sits there dreaming, oh, I wish I had a girl like that.
Does he take his device with him when he does that?
Oh, he probably does. He probably does. Oh, I wish I had Wolfie. Oh, Wolfie. Oh, yeah, Wolfie. Oh, she doesn't want anything to do with you. You're gross, dude. You're fucking hideous. You're like a monster. A fucking monster. Oh, I'm good.
That'd be like me fucking drooling all over and fucking.
I'm Will. I'm a big faggot.
Hey,
I'm Will.
Wolfie, can I get a titty shot, please? You must hit a button. Yeah, that would be good. Them two fuckers together. I gotta hook my thing up so if I go driving around, I can take my shit with me.
Application of power, and those who are trying to steal that power for themselves to rule over us. I support AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, because they understand this. AMAC is the choice for Americans who care deeply about
Whoa, again.
Whether you're concerned about your future or your children's future, you just want to stay informed and connected, AMAC is for you. Now, here's the thing. As a member of the Association of Mature American Citizens, and all you need to be is 18 or older. You receive access to fantastic benefits and discounts, like discounts on travel, discounts on insurance, discounts on prescription services, and a ton more, as well as executive member-only tools, for instance, for seniors, advice on Social Security and Medicare, and resources that make a difference in everyday life. And one of my personal favorites, you also get this fantastic award-winning AMAC magazine several times a year, filled with useful information and columns, packed with meaningful content and insight and interviews and updates you won't find anywhere else. Now, here's the thing, ready? Right now, you can join for as little as $1.20 a month with a 5-year membership. $1.20 a month. That's an incredible value. Think about it, $1.20 a month.
Holy fuck.
Those benefits and discounts once. This will have paid for itself 100 times over. So go to amac.us/Levin. You don't want to wait, folks. That's amac.us/LEVIN. Become a member today. Become a member today. It's very, very important in so many respects. This is really a fantastic organization. You will personally benefit.
I didn't see you there.
Why'd you kick me off?
I didn't. I tell you, no, I didn't.
Levin.
Must have been a
No,
glitch.
maybe I did. If I did, it was an accident. I tell you, fucking kicked yourself. And then I'm sitting here looking at my other phone, wasn't even paying attention what's in my backstage.
Hey, Wilbur. Wilbur, you want to go to war, Wilbur?
They're already at war.
Wilbur.
He made that video of me jerking off to Wolfie. Wiggin played it the night before he released it.
Wilbur.
You're cutting in and out.
Because you're fucking bald head. Let's go to war, Wilbur. You're going to lose. You're going to fucking lose.
His name isn't even Will. It's Eric.
Eric, Will. It's all the same. Doesn't matter what his name is. His big name is Faggot. That's his number one name.
What name did I give him?
He thinks he's a big shot. Oh, Melody. Oh, Melody gave me some time. Melody at most is a fucking 5. At most. That's like a generous 5, by the way. That's generous. All right.
Melody's mean to me, and she doesn't even know me.
You know you're a 5, Melody. I don't think you're offended. I think you already know. At the maximum, she's a 5. And then, second of all, she will fucking date any guy that gives her attention. You heard about the date she went on with the dating app, the dating site? She met some guy off a dating site, and I guess he went to the bathroom. He never came back. Well, I guess you're the guy that would sit there waiting for Melody to come back. I guess that's how that would work. Well, how's your AI girlfriend? Or should I say gay-eye, your gay-eyed girlfriend? You don't need her anymore. You got fucking Wiggin. Wiggin's
so this is what happened. Wiggin was streaming a couple nights ago now, and making, he likes to go play-by-play, making fun. Well, then he got to the point where he had to show the video. All right.
Oh, you did a little laugh.
And at first, I thought him and his girlfriend made it. Then the next morning, up in my feed, it comes up. Will posted that video on his channel.
What a great marriage. What a great marriage. She married an old fucking decrepit fucking gay guy to sit there and make gay videos about other gay guys.
Wiggin is mad at me again. He's up there. He's flashing fucking hundreds and 50s, showing all his money.
Oh, please. That's all drug money he got from Chelsea, dude. Come on, dude. Stop living off Chelsea, you old faggot, dude. What the fuck? All right, finish. You done?
You talking to me?
You done? That's all, folks. Got
I-
her, bitches.
Hell, Colin's trying to suck my dick. What's up with that, Colin?
The Democrats and their media keep saying
All
that
right, back
Trump
to the news.
in his administration is bringing up the Obama matter, the Obama involvement in the Russia collusion scandal in order to distract from the Epstein matter. See, I see it the other way around. They keep bringing up the Epstein matter to distract from the Obama matter. There's
Yep.
nothing to it relating to Trump for the reasons he said and more. There's a ton to the Obama scandal related to the Russia collusion matter. So they keep bringing up Epstein to get away from Obama. We'll be right back.
With Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
It's not going to
Stress
work.
is something we've talked a lot about, how it can hurt you in so many ways. But good stress can also be really beneficial if it's the right kind and the right amount. I recently talked about this on my podcast with Dr. Sharon Berkowitz. She's the author of The Stress Paradox, Why You Need Stress to Live Longer, Healthier, and Happier. And she offered 3 pieces of advice I wanted to share with you. Number 1, challenge yourself to go outside your comfort zone without feeling overwhelmed. She called it the Goldilocks zone. Then, make sure you're challenging yourself in ways that align, not conflict, with your own beliefs. Your heart and your mind know the difference. Finally, don't forget this one. To grow from stress, you have to make time for rest and recovery. Challenging yourself is great, just not all the time. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
I was choosing alcohol over my family. That's when I made the call. Now I'm finding better ways to cope.
Mental health care works when you make the call. Visit mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Every time I feel my baby kick, I sing. You don't understand. I never sing. I'm not good at singing. I'm the only person I know who's been booed off a karaoke stage. But that was before I was pregnant. Today, I'm a singer with a captive audience of 1. She doesn't boo me. She never will. We know how it feels. We're the March of Dimes. Find out how we can help you have a healthier baby at marchofdimesbaby.org.
At Average House Furniture Warehouse, our sofas have cushions, our tables have 4 legs, our recliners recline. So come on by for a perfectly average experience.
Cumulus Digital doesn't stop at average. We work with more than 4,000 local businesses every month, delivering campaigns that beat industry averages by over 25%, driving real, measurable growth. You're not average. Your results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com to start outperforming today.
You too.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. The 4 people shot to death yesterday at a skyscraper in Midtown Manhattan are being remembered tonight at Bryant Park, not far from the site of the shooting. The victims, a New York City police officer working private security, a security guard at the office building, an executive with the financial firm Blackstone, and an employee at the real estate firm Regan. Police say the suspect, 27-year-old Shane Tamura, drove across the country from Nevada to carry out the shooting, and that he was targeting the NFL, which has offices in the building.
Mayor Eric Adams said today that it's possible he didn't act alone, with an associate of his purchasing part of the M4 rifle that he used in the attack, as well as a revolver that was found in his car.
There are upper parts and different parts that assembles the gun. The lower part, we are finding out, was purchased by an associate. It is undetermined at this time if he played any role at all in planning or carrying out this action.
So detectives are now going to Las Vegas to execute a search warrant at Tamura's home.
Fox's Nate Foy at Bryant Park. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell in a statement says its offices will remain closed with employees working remotely through the end of next week. President Trump has moved up the deadline for Russia to agree to a ceasefire with Ukraine.
10 days from today.
The president had originally given Russia 50 days or harsh sanctions and tariffs would be put in place. He says the deadline was moved up because no progress has been made. UCLA has reached a $6 million settlement with 3 Jewish students and a Jewish professor who sued, claiming their civil rights were violated when the school allowed pro-Palestinian protesters to block their access to classes and other areas on campus in 2024. As part of the settlement, the judge ordered UCLA to create a plan to protect Jewish students on campus. America's listening to Fox News.
New stadium deal closer to reality. I'm Sharon Reardon from the Novak Motors News Desk. Good evening. Public testimony front and center as the D.C. Council gets closer to a stadium vote for the land and the plans involving.
We are fighting so that Kingman Park does not become Kingman Parking Lot.
Commissioner Ebony Payne testifying with a message from the Ward 7 ANC. She's not against the team's return to the district, but she's certainly not for 2 parking structures to be built in residential Kingman Park.
The proposal would direct over 5,000 cars directly to our neighborhood, and it would destroy our quality of life.
More than 500 signed up to speak their piece in front of council, including Kenyon McDuffie. He wants to bring back the team and
bring opportunity, bring jobs, and bring dignity to the residents and businesses that call Washington, D.C. their home.
Scotland on WMAL and WMAL.com.
The judge orders like Governor Glenn Youngkin's University Board appointees, including former Virginia Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli, immediately removed from their seats at UVA. George Mason and VMI, 9 Virginia Senate Democrats sued, arguing the appointments were invalid because the legislature had rejected them. The judge says the public interest lies in upholding the legislature's power to confirm gubernatorial picks, and the Arlington County school system is digging into its pocket to cover the costs of uncollected lunch money.
You should see what my front yard looks like. I got some plants and they're flowering.
Came from
great big huge
bushes.
bushes.
The National School Lunch Program
great big
requires
giant
systems
leaves
to make reasonable efforts to collect unpaid debt. And while Arlington has several collection methods, it does not sue families for non-payment. The county does feed students who are behind on payments, but they're not allowed to order extra items. The county also does not punish students who are in arrears. In some places, students are barred from after-school activities or required to do chores. John Matthews on WMAL and WMAL.com.
WMAL News Time is 8:04. I'm Sharon Reardon. And now here's your WMAL traffic weather from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
In Northwest, on 9th Street, both northbound and southbound lanes blocked for crash streets.
There's a little fan on this laptop.
He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalfresh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalfresh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to
Mosquitoes are coming out too. It's fucking hot out.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Our number.
Our county fair started today. It's in my village.
1-1-877-381-3811. Hope you're all doing well. You know, this is very weird. I want you to listen to this.
Yeah.
And then I want to unravel this with you. Here's Chuck Schumer. Now, Chuck Schumer won't say if he opposes or supports Mondani. Well, Schumer is a Jew, at least he claims to be. Is it really that hard for the highest ranking Jew in the Senate to condemn Mondani? Forget about everything else. Mondani has said things that the Ku Klux Klan would say, that neo-Nazis would say, that some of the isolationists would say, that some of the commenters on my sites would say. And yet Schumer won't condemn him. He went to the floor and condemned Netanyahu. He said more harsh things about Netanyahu than he's ever said about Mondani. But I want you to listen to this. And I want to show you how this works. Cut 14, go.
Because these guys are undoing everything in every way they can. They don't want poor people to vote. They don't want people of color to vote. They don't want Democrats to vote. They don't believe in democracy. We do.
All right, so stop a second. What is he talking about? They don't want poor people to vote. They don't want people of color to vote. They don't want Democrats to vote. They don't believe in democracy. We do. What in the world? You see, this is how it works. Now, I've got a whole chapter on language. Now, what is he intending to do here? What is his purpose here? Is his purpose to have a rational discussion about policy? No. He never wants a rational discussion about policy, ever. This is what I call negative language in service to negative power. It's what Lenin called agitprop. What's agitprop? Agitprop is the use of political slogans and half-truths to exploit the grievances of certain organizations and people. In other words, it's a combination of agitation with propaganda, which I discuss in the book. But what's the purpose of this? Well, it's just like the Marxists. This is what they do. As I wrote, language is a tool of the state, or in this case, the Democrat Party that serves the party, takes on an official character. It's limited, prescribed, restricted. It compels certain types of speech and suppresses other forms. This kind of propaganda, Hannah Arendt was a famous philosopher. She called it totalitarian propaganda. Involves, quote, the use of indirect, veiled, and menacing hints of violence or non-believers, claims of prophecy. That's what it is. So the goal is to subvert, as I write, the civil society and the principles, values, and beliefs on which it was established, corrupt the public spirit and civic harmony. Yep, isn't that what he's done?
Right there.
And reject compromise and accommodation. The people must be unmoored from and cleansed of their history, faith, and family.
Damn.
In order to serve the state, or in this case, the Democrat Party. Positive language emphasizes the power to, whereas negative language emphasizes the power over. Positive language taps into the individual and societal benefits of communication, including persuasion and interaction, truth-seeking, the competition of ideas. It is language that is solicitous, factual, respectful, tolerant, informative, well-intentioned. The power of language is to reason and to think freely and in the political realm to encourage debate, inquiry, deliberation, contemplation, and learning. So free speech is an essential value and precept in the application and exercise of positive power in an open society. But what is this? What is this? What kind of language is this? It is language that is intended to silence knowledge. It's language that is intended to distort, to manipulate, which is the key word I explained, to manipulate the population. It's utterly dishonest.
I don't have the hookup to go over there and broadcast
use
it.
negative language not only to forcibly advance their agenda, but conceal their faults
Now I
and
don't feel like
defects from
doing
the
it.
people in order to maintain their control. That's what he's doing. The Marxist regimes, China, Cuba, North Korea, Nicaragua, other forms of authoritarian rule, it is language that is used to suppress. To suppress. Now, two simple questions prove the lie of the Marxist workers' paradise. I'm not going to get into that tonight, but I get into it because, again, the Democrat Party and the left in our country, this is where they're coming from. So what Schumer just did there was intended to manipulate, to create jealousies, to create hate. And so he says, let's start at the top again, Mr. Producer, with cut 14. Go.
Because these guys are undoing everything in every way they can. They don't want poor people to vote. They don't want people of color to vote. They don't want Democrats to vote. They don't believe in democracy.
And so here we are. We've spent decades and decades through civil rights activities, through legislation, through court decisions to ensure that everybody who's supposed to vote can vote. And Schumer reaches back to this old saw. Of course, it was his party that prevented poor black people from voting, but that's beside the point. The point is, poor people are not prevented from voting. People of color are not prevented from voting. And he says that you don't believe in democracy if you don't agree with him. So this is utter manipulation. It's not intended to be informative. It's not intended to unite. It's intended to do exactly the opposite. So let's go on, Mr. Producer. Go ahead.
And so we see what they do to people everywhere. A heinous act of legislation, great ugly betrayal, taking away people's health care, taking food out of their mouths.
Nobody's taking away people's health care. Nobody's taking the food out of the mouths of hungry children. Nobody's seeking billionaire tax breaks. Nobody's preventing poor people, people of color, from voting. Nobody's preventing Democrats from voting. There's not a syllable that is spewed by this demagogue that is truthful. Again, the whole chapter on language, because it's critical. On language is intended to control thought. To control thought. You know, we're an advanced civilization. We're intelligent people. And I don't mean because people have PhDs or master's degrees or go to a four-year. I mean, we're an intelligent people. We're smart people. You're smart people. Regardless of what schools and how you went to school. I don't care. You're smart people. Does this sound smart to you? And this is what they do. They did it in the last election cycle and the one before. These are the tactics and the techniques of the Marxists and the fascists. There's nothing in here that can be debated. You can deny it, of course. It's a lie. It's a series of lies. There's nothing to debate. But if you really wanted to debate government programs involving healthcare, government programs involving food stamps or what have you, if he really wanted to debate these issues, he wouldn't pose them this way. But he doesn't want to debate. He doesn't want to inform. He wants to
Yeah.
Manipulate. Go ahead.
Children to get billionaires a tax break? Shame on them. I can't believe it. No principle, no conscience. Shame. Shame. Shame.
Now, I
Shame.
also explain in the book sloganeering.
Yep, not gonna work.
The endless sloganeering. Shame, shame, tax cuts for billion. Sloganeering. Sloganeering is for imbeciles, and they treat people as imbeciles. Of negative power. Repetition. Now, repetition can be good. You know, you want to be a dancer, great golfer, great athlete, singer. You repeat, you repeat, you repeat. That's okay. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the demagogic effort at repetition for thought control. Thought control. Not you controlling your own mindset. Or when you address a ball, when you're golfing, or when you're trying to dive out of a pool and you're in competitive diving. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about trying to control the way you think. So you have the sloganeering, you have the repetition. That's why I'm playing this. You have the manipulation. This is Schumer. This is the Democrats. These are the Marxists. These are the Islamists. Go ahead.
When the American people are angry, and it's righteous anger, they have made it harder to vote throughout the decades.
Who has made it harder to vote throughout the decades? What, to show the voter ID? That's hard to do. I mean, it's amazing. The government they want requires IDs for everything. You need an ID, a special ID to get on an airplane. Is that racist? Is that to prevent people from getting on airplanes? No. It's to prevent the wrong people from getting on airplanes, just like a voter ID is to prevent the wrong people from voting. People aren't legitimately voting. So, again, what's the point here? Manipulation. Not honesty, not debate. Manipulation. This is like the perfect clip for this. Go ahead.
Republican Party now accentuated by the awful MAGA group. They are doing all of this stuff.
They're doing all this stuff. They're doing none of this stuff. There's 77 million of you. You're not a group. You're 77 million of Americans. You're not a group. Like you're some faction or some radical offshoot. You're 77 million Americans with all different backgrounds and experiences who voted for Donald Trump. So you're to be diminished. So if you don't buy the sloganeering, if you don't buy the repetition, if you don't buy the outright lies, there's something wrong with you. So I want to thank Chuck Schumer. Yeah, exactly. In 55 seconds. Effectively proves the point. But this issue about language control and wokeism, this is a tool of totalitarians. Prevent free thinking, real reasoning, which is what your brain is for, to prevent it, just to make you think good guy, bad guy. He doesn't want black people or brown people or yellow people to vote. He's trying to take food from little kids. He's trying to take healthcare away from seniors. He over there. That's all. There's nothing intelligent about it. It is a technique. It is a technique. That's what it is. Which is why I spend chapter 4 time really delving into what they do. And this is, again, what a Mao would do, or Stalin would do, or Mandani would do. It's what the Democrats do. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you got to hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe, and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflush.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflush.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free, so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflush.com.
You know a safe-ish home security solution when you see one. The stuff that kind of seems like it works, but doesn't. The key under your welcome mat. The security camera that isn't a real camera. The guard dog on duty sign when everyone knows the dog is Mr. Buttons. The thing is, safe-ish doesn't actually keep you and your home safe, but ADT can help with smart, easy-to-use security you can rely on. Don't settle for safe-ish. Get ADT.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Getting my prescriptions has never been easier or less expensive now that I use VA Healthcare. I order online or by phone and they're delivered in a few days with low or no copay. Get what you earn. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for this hyper amount of benefits mentioned here.
Ever get the feeling you're being watched online? It's data brokers. They collect your personal info, your browsing habits, where you live, and who you're related to, and then sell it to the highest bidder. Aura helps stop that. Aura automatically removes your personal info from data broker sites and keeps it off. It also monitors the dark web, protects your devices, alerts you to real-time threats, and more. Start your free trial at aura.com/listen. That's AURA.com/listen for your free trial.
If something happens to you, what happens to your family? Will they struggle financially? Will they be able to afford the home you built together? With Ethos, you can get life insurance coverage in minutes. Get up to $2 million in coverage for as little as $2 a day. All online with no medical exam. Just answer a few health questions. Get your free quote at ethos.com/talk. That's ethos.com/talk. Rates may vary. Billed monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Hey folks, Mark Levin here. I've written a brand new book called On Power. Not on liberty, not on rights, but on power. Now, why have I done that? Because there's a lot of focus on liberty and rights, but the core to understanding human nature is power. It determines the extent to which we enjoy either or lose both. The character of the law and the character of our government, which people either flourish or suffer. Go grab a copy of On Power. I know you're going to love it. You can go to Amazon.com or any retail store that carries books. God bless you.
Making sense of your world.
I don't know where to begin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Thanks for taking my call.
Making sense of the news.
Tomorrow on the Chris Plank Show, your thermometer will tell you it's 98 degrees out. The Washington Post says it feels like 109. I am on WMAL.
I have a question for the phonies, frauds, the de-influencers, misinfluencers. Very much focused on Israel. They ever heard of the Uyghurs? Have you noticed that the Prime Minister of Britain never talks about the Uyghurs? Have you noticed that the President of France never talks about the Uyghurs? Have you noticed the United Nations never talks about the Uyghurs? Have you noticed the reporters at the Slimes and the Compost and reporters all over Britain and the West never talk about the Uyghurs? Have you noticed that the podcasters never talk about the Uyghurs? Have you noticed that? Genocide Watch, Chinese genocide of the Uyghurs in Xinjiang continues. 12 million people, the majority of whom are Uyghur Muslims, live in Xinjiang, China, officially known as the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region by the Communist Chinese. The Communist Chinese Party, you notice it's the Communist Chinese Party, not Communist China. Just like it's the Democrat Party, not America, because the party comes first. It's intent on colonizing Xinjiang and replacing Uyghur Muslims with Han Chinese communism. Due to implementation of the big development of the Northwest Plan, millions of Han Chinese have been resettled in Xinjiang since the early 1990s. The Communist Party has held millions of Uyghurs in huge re-education prisons. Han Chinese monitors are forcibly placed in Uyghur families. These assimilationist policies are designed to stop independent movements by Uyghurs. Chinese officials claim the program is to defeat terrorism. China tries to justify its repression as a fight against religious extremism. Communist Chinese Party has severely restricted movement in Xinjiang. The entire region is under constant video camera, audio surveillance. They collect personal biometric data, including fingerprints, facial recognition data, iris scans, and DNA samples. Geez, sounds like a lot worse than voter ID, Mr. Producer. It's begun to use AI. Hundreds of thousands of police files document movements and conversations of the ethnic language population. Since 2017, between 800,000 and 2 million Uyghurs have been held in the Xinjiang concentration camps, commonly referred to as re-education camps. They're forced to participate in Communist Party indoctrination programs, which detainees are forced to abandon their Muslim faith and culture. Communist Chinese Party forbids use of Uyghur language, imposes Mandarin Chinese within these camps. Inside the camps, Chinese Communist Party officials subject Uyghurs to physical beatings, sexual assault, gang rapes of women, forced abortion, sexual torture, mass rape, and murder. The Communist Party forcibly removes Uyghur children from their homes and places them in residence at schools that are forbidden to speak the language, violation of the Genocide Convention, Article 2E. If the re-education, the Uyghurs are forced to work harvesting cotton, in other words, forced labor, slave labor. And many of them are disappeared, as they say. I haven't heard anybody talk about this. None of the great de-influencers and misinfluencers. I haven't heard any of the great Western powers talk about this. Have you, America? I'll be right back.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're a different kind of wireless company dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Because let's face it, our needs are different. Big wireless unlimited plans are designed for 20-somethings, not us. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on one thing, bringing you affordable, reliable rate plans that suit your needs, not ours. How do we do that? We start by using the same towers as the big guys, the exact same towers. We then create rate plans designed for your usage. The fact is, we can offer you an unlimited plan with the same network quality for less because we understand how you use wireless services. Our plans start at just $20 a month. And forget trying to chat with robots. You'll get 100% US-based award-winning customer service when you need help. Come find out how wireless should be and join the millions who have made the switch.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life is a workout, and Smoothie King is here to help you power through. Whether you're grinding out bicep curls or muscling the couch across the living room, crushing morning miles, or sprinting through back-to-back meetings, Smoothie King has fuel to help you maximize your workouts, own your recovery, and elevate your game. Give your body the energy, protein, and power it needs with a lineup of delicious smoothies made to help you conquer your goals. Only at Smoothie King.
Let's move! We have soccer practice, dance, and a play date.
Life moves fast, so every second counts, especially when it comes to big decisions like buying a car. That's why searching through Navy Federal's car buying service powered by TrueCar is a perfect place to start.
Thanks, Mom.
Navy Federal can help you find and finance the right vehicle so you can go wherever life takes you. Visit NavyFederal.org/TrueCar to learn more. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. Credit and collateral subject to approval.
My name is Georgios Tsetis. I'm the co-founder of Nutrafol. My hair started thinning in my early 20s. I tried everything and nothing was really working. So we created Nutrafol. Our hair growth supplements undergo clinical trials and have helped millions of men and women get visibly thicker and stronger hair in just 3 to 6 months.
Start your hair growth journey at Nutrafol.com. That's Nutrafol.com.
Thumbtack presents Project Paralysis. I was cornered. Sweat gathered above my furrowed brow, and my mind was racing. I wondered who would be left standing when the droplets fell, me or the clogged sink. Drain cleaner and pipe snake clenched in my weary fist, I stepped toward the sink and then... Wait, why am I stressing? I have Thumbtack. I can easily search for a top-rated plumber, read reviews, and compare prices, all on the app. Thumbtack knows homes. Download the app today.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now, and the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Prescription products require completion of an online medication consultation with an independent healthcare provider through the LifeMD platform and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Individual results may vary. Additional restrictions apply at lifemd.com. Read all warnings before using GLP-1s. Side effects may include a risk of thyroid C-cell tumors. Do not use GLP-1s if you or your family have a history of thyroid cancer.
Confused on where to start with weight loss medication? See the lowest prices available with or without insurance for Wegovy, Zepbound, and more at trylifemd.com. 95% of LifeMD patients said starting their weight loss journey was simple. Listen to Tara's story after losing 42 pounds.
You just take your shot. It doesn't feel like you're on a diet. What I wasn't expecting it to do was to shut off the food noise. I had gone from 237 to 195. This was life-altering, and if I can do it, I feel like anybody can do it.
Get your free insurance benefits check in minutes right now at trylifemd.com. Nearly 96% of patients said they would recommend the LifeMD program to anyone who wants to lose weight. Get started right now at trylifemd.com. That's TRYLIFEMD.com.
Making sense of your world.
There are a lot of things that really tick me off.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news. WMAL. Making sense of the roads, because traffic doesn't always follow the pattern. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Mark Levin, tough as hell.
That's why I like Mark Levin. And I'm not sure a lot of people like him. He's tough as hell. But I like him. I love him.
Call in now. 877-381-3811.
That'd be the man right there. Oh, yeah. This is unconstitutional. Have you heard people say this? Maybe on a podcast? Probably. Do you just take their word for it? Well, to know if it's constitutional or unconstitutional, obviously we need to know about the Constitution. That's why I'm so excited that Hillsdale College is offering a brand new free online course called The Federalist. Now, the Federalist Papers were written primarily by Alexander Hamilton and James Madison. And together they explain how the United States Constitution established a government strong enough to secure the rights of citizens, safe enough to wield that power. Always comes down to power. That's the point. Hillsdale's online course on the Federalist includes 10 lectures, each about 30 minutes long. And you can take the course at your own pace. There's no cost to sign up. It's one course with 10 lectures within it. It's fantastic. And it's taught by the people who know the most, Hillsdale faculty. So go right now to levinforhillsdale.com to enroll. That's Levin for Hillsdale.com. No cost, easy to get started, tremendous information, taught in a very entertaining and intriguing and compelling way. That's levinforhillsdale.com, Levin for Hillsdale.com to register for free. Again, that's Levin Levin for Hillsdale. Hello.com. Oh my goodness. All right, let's take some calls here. I think I've been good at this lately. Yes, I have. All right, I'm trying, Mr. Producer. Hold on. The calls just came in. Stick with me, folks. We got full boards here. Let us go to Roy in Oregon, XM Satellite. Roy, how are you?
I am outstandingly wonderful because I have Mark Levin on my phone and also on my radio.
Thank you, my brother.
Mark, you are the breath of fresh air that the United States of America needs today.
Oh, that's awfully nice of you. Why is that?
2 years ago, I called and talked with you when Democrats Hate America came out.
Mm-hmm.
Power is the sequel to that book.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, Roy, you're very kind. I'm going to send you a signed copy. And after this week, I'm going to have to stop because I'm running out of books to hand out. Right, Mr. Producer? So don't hang up, Roy. Publisher says, what are you doing? You're handing out something. Well, I guess I'm a Jewish Santa Claus. Is that possible, Rich? I don't know. So, Roy, don't hang up. We'll get your full name and address. Love to send it to you. Hanukkah Harry. Stephen, Pickens, South Carolina, XM Satellite. Stephen, how are you?
All right, I'm on WORD, but what I want to talk to you about, I've been listening to your show recently. I'm a new listener, and I heard you talking about the branches of our government and, the fraud, embezzlement, the racketeering, and manipulation, intimidation, and stuff like that, and the falsehoods and lies, and that's all pointing back to our city and our government and our city and county administrations, with their fees and their raises for their rules and regulations and whatnot. And I'm wondering, people are getting tired of this. I lived in Baltimore, Maryland when I was a child. I've lived in South Carolina now. I've seen the North, the South. I've sat with the elders of the church. I even went to prison for protecting myself because I was called a Yankee when I come down here in the South and was attacked, and I had to defend myself. But I'm looking at all this going on and the chaos in the world. The Bible does teach behavior management, character structure. A lot of these politicians and stuff, they need some sound mind and discretion. And I think you're a man with that sound mind and discretion. I have discernment, and I talk to these people out here on the road and the streets about what's going on. I'm a realistic. I worked construction all my life. I've built roads, highways, houses, the utilities, to build the communities in the neighborhood. And then I had social justice, and been falsely accused or wrongly accused or, and all this stuff on here. But I wanted to come out with this. My point was I wanted to share with the part about behavior management, character structure, your virtues, morals, and values. Put away the liquor bottles and, the alcohol guys and get with what God's really trying to teach you about humanity.
All right. You've made your point beautifully. Beautifully. Thank you, Stephen. Don't hang up. We want to send you a signed copy of the book. Thank you, my friend. Sean, Cartersville, Georgia, on the Mark Levin app. Sean, how are you?
Great, Mark. I'm really glad I finally get to talk to you. I just wanted to make it quick. I wanted to tell you that I appreciate your stance on things, that you don't waver like these other people. I grew up listening to Rush, and,
I feel pretty damn certain Rush and I would be standing shoulder to shoulder. I really do. He was one of my best friends. I knew him inside and out, his belief systems and so forth. He loved Netanyahu, loved the state of Israel, loved the United States of America and the military. He was no way an isolationist. He was no way, a quasi-socialist like some of these phonies are. He'd be standing right with me and I with him.
Definitely. And you're 100% right on your take on these podcasters. They literally just interview themselves over and over and just repeat the same repetitive things.
What is that all about? I don't get it. What is that all about?
I don't either. It's really boring, and they're kind of getting like the Democrats. they'll say one thing and they'll accuse you of something when they're the actual ones.
You know, that is a great point. As a matter of fact, the more I read about these guys, because I don't listen, but there are people that have clips of them all over the more they are like Democrats. The more they're just like your garden variety liberals. They sound just like them. In fact, some of them actually sound worse, like Bernie Sanders. If you didn't know who it was, you'd say, wait a minute, Bernie Sanders is putting down my country? Wait a minute, Bernie Sanders is siding with Hitler against Churchill? Wait a minute. Hamas isn't starving the people? Israel's starving the people? Wait a minute. It'll be World War III if Iran, if we take their... Who do they sound like? They sound like the left.
You're 100% right. I've seen so many videos of the UN aid in Gaza where they're trying to get the food to the people in Gaza, and they can't get it to them. And it's not Israel that's holding it back. You know, it's not anybody else. It's themselves.
Mm-hmm. And why is it so hard to believe that Hamas is killing its own people? They're a terrorist organization. They've been doing this from day one, hiding in hospitals and mosques and schools and all the rest of it. And Stalin did it, and Mao did it, and Lenin did it, and on and on and on. So why is it so hard to believe that these radical Islamist terrorists aren't killing their own people? Because that's exactly what they're doing.
Definitely.
I'll tell you what, man, you're great. Don't hang up, Sean. We're going to send you. It was Sean, right, Rich? We're going to send you a signed copy of On Power as well. All right, let's slip in one more. Rancho Cucamonga. I've always liked saying that. Rancho Cucamonga, California. Michael, it's XM satellite. How are you, Michael?
Very good, sir. How about yourself?
I'm all right. Say Cucamonga fast 12 times. No, don't.
You sound always encouraging and empowering. However, I talked to a lot of people, and we all have freedom of speech, but like what Chuck Schumer was saying, it's obvious these are lies. Okay, like you take, for instance, like The View. They spew lies as well. Freedom of speech is one thing, but I wanted your opinion on, because you're a law professor and you know about the law, but what is that part of it? In other words, does the Constitution...
Yeah, that is free speech, and we have the free speech ability to counter it. But these people obviously are using free speech to destroy a free nation. That's why they lie the way they do. That's why they manipulate. That's the word, manipulate. Manipulate, thought control. They do not want to discuss the issues in a substantive way. They never will. And they come up with these slogans and this propaganda, and this is what they do, and it's up to us to counter it. But I just want people to understand their purpose. Their purpose is to destroy unity, that is disunity. Their purpose is to use freedom of speech as a weapon, as a tool for manipulation and coercion. They want uniformity. They want people scared. They want people at each other's throats. But you raise a very interesting issue, Michael, which is we've never quite figured out, and I've mentioned this many times in my career, the following puzzle. Liberty allows the opponents of liberty to destroy liberty. And a free people we haven't really quite figured out how to deal with this. That is, a free society, in addition to all the wonderful things, it allows evil people, manipulators, people who are power hungry, to take advantage of the freedom for themselves and against the rest of us. It is a conundrum, I say to my friend in Rancho Cucamonga. Don't hang up, Michael. We're going to send you a signed copy of On Power. I hope you enjoy it, my friend. We'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Ever get the feeling you're being watched online? It's data brokers. They collect your personal info, your browsing habits, where you live, and who you're related to, and then sell it to the highest bidder. Aura helps stop that. Aura automatically removes your personal info from data broker sites and keeps it off. It also monitors the dark web, protects your devices, alerts you to real-time threats, and more. Start your free trial at aura.com/listen. That's AURA.com/listen for your free trial.
Celebrate over 100 years of steak perfection during the Omaha Steaks Anniversary Sale. Save 50% site-wide on USDA certified tender steaks and more. Plus, get an extra $35 off with code CERTIFIED at omahasteaks.com today. Don't wait. Shop the anniversary sale at omahasteaks.com to save 50% on legendary steaks and more. Plus, get an extra $35 off with code CERTIFIED. Minimum purchase may apply. See site for details.
I'm Taylor, 32, and I'm a catering chef. Some say cooking is hard. I say finding the right business tool is harder. Until I found QuickBooks. Now my confidence is on fire. Every task that burned me out, like matching business transactions, taken care of. This duo is chef's kiss. More time for my catering business means more time for growth. For a limited time, get 90% off QuickBooks Online, Advanced, and Payroll for 3 months. Terms and conditions apply.
My name is Georgios Tsetis. I'm the co-founder of Nutrafol. My hair started thinning in my early 20s. I tried everything and nothing was really working. So we created Nutrafol. Our hair growth supplements undergo clinical trials and have helped millions of men and women get visibly thicker and stronger hair in just 3 to 6 months.
Start your hair growth journey at Nutrafol.com. That's Nutrafol.com.
When you're in HR, it can feel like nothing is easy. From payroll to PTO, from onboarding to benefits, and everything in between. It's a constant juggle of tasks, systems, and spreadsheets. But your HR software? That's the easy part. Meet Bamboo HR. Trusted by over 34,000 companies, it handles all your HR tasks, payroll, benefits, and time tracking, so your team and your company can grow as fast as, well, Bamboo. And Bamboo HR software is actually easy to use. One simple system that pulls all your people data together in one place, so you can ditch scattered systems and wasted hours on tasks that should only take minutes. Because when HR is easier, you can focus on what matters most, your people. HR is hard. Bamboo HR is easy. Ready to simplify all your HR tasks? For a limited time, get a $100 Visa gift card when you complete a free demo at bamboohr.com/gift card. Again, that's bamboohr.com/gift card. Terms and conditions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Most people have no idea there's an invisible gap in their home's protection. This invisible threat is house stealing. Con artists pick a house. They transfer the deed of this house into their name by obtaining the forms, using the fake IDs, and filing the paperwork with proper authorities. Now they own the home. Protect your home from this invisible gap. Check on your home's title right now at HomeTitleLock.com. Be sure to use promo code RADIO and they will send you a complete title scan of your home's title. And your first 30 days of triple lock title protection is free. HomeTitleLock.com.
Now the destiny of the whole world is in your hands.
Mark Levin is back on your radio.
WMAL, making sense of social media, because big tech can't be trusted. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
You're all I need to get by. You're all
Beautiful.
I need to get by.
Just listen to it. What do you say?
As long as I got you, baby, you know that you got me.
seconds. 40 seconds. Here we go.
Sweet morning dew, one look at you. And
dancing, baby.
You are
Dancing, my
wifey. With my arms open wide, I threw every
Yes, with my wife.
dedicate my life to you. I will go where you lead. I'll be right there anytime I need. And when I lose my way, be right there to put me up my heel. No looking back. No lady. Just shut up. That's enough.
Everybody. I love it. Baby, how much time I got, Rick? Do another minute on this? What's this?
For you, I'll do my best. Stand by you like a tree. And anybody that's right for me. God, and you have found strength I was turned down. Don't know what's in store, but together we can open any door. Just to do what's good for you. I'll inspire you a little bit higher. I know you can make a woman out of soul that we have to go.
Man. Now I'm hyped up. I can do another 10 hours. All right, easy. Come on. Gotta take a little break from time to time, don't we? All right. Well, we're all feeling it. Costs. You got all this credit card debt thanks to the Biden regime. Interest rates on those credit cards are crazy. Other summertime expenses, maybe your car, maybe camp, maybe a little vacation. You have a right to live. You have a right to be happy, to enjoy yourself. Now, some of you are saying, should I call American Financing to refinance and pay off this credit card debt? Mark keeps talking about this, but I have such a great interest rate on my mortgage. It's very low. Well, folks, if you count the rate you're paying on your credit card, it's not that low when you can consolidate all of your debt, get it into a low interest mortgage rate, deduct up to $40,000. I know everybody doesn't have that much, but I said up to $40,000 in interest on your federal income taxes. That's the math. Because to do otherwise is literally costing you thousands. If you're only making minimum credit card payments, that debt's going to follow you for years. It accumulates. That's why people are calling American Financing the way I did, because they're saving customers on average $800 a month using their equity to finally break free from this credit card debt. Just pay it off, get rid of it, and use the deductions. You owe it to yourself to get out of this stress. Your family. No upfront fees, by the way, no pressure. Costs you nothing to find out how much you can save every month. They'll do the calculations with you. And if you start today, you might be able to delay 2 mortgage payments. So call American Financing today, 888-900-1828, 888-900-1828, 888-900-1828, or visit AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
All right, let's go to Walt, Silver Spring, Maryland, the great WMAL. Walt, how are you, sir?
I'm really good, Mark. I'm happy to call in. First-time caller, long-time listener.
Thank you.
You were talking about Marx earlier tonight. You mentioned Hannah Arendt. I studied her in grad school. I have her on my Kindle, The Origins of Totalitarian. I really appreciate you talk about these things. It's important.
Well, thank you.
And, your new book is coming out. I'm really excited about that on power. And I just want to end your show on a high note, Mark. I'm from Philadelphia originally, born and raised. I moved to Maryland a while ago, but we're going to be really happy about our Eagles this year. I'm telling you.
Well, I don't want to upset the rest of the country, but they actually got better. So I agree. They're going to be a tough team. I don't want to jinx them. There's a lot of great teams out there. I think Detroit, if it's healthy, is going to be a tough team. Buffalo's always tough. I think Baltimore, if they really play to their potential, I think Washington's going to be a good team. But I think the Eagles are very, very strong. And I checked with my buddy, who's the expert on all things sports, Stephen A. He said, I'm with you, Mark. They look like the best. So we'll see what happens. But don't hang up, Walt. I'm going to send you a signed copy of On Power. Thank you, sir. I love to introduce these great thinkers and scholars and philosophers to millions and millions of you. These people should not have passed unnoticed. They make a difference. They have things to say. And I try to say things that are unique and different, using this platform and the TV platforms and the digital platforms. I know it's very unique talk radio, but it is what it is. I think it's very, very important. Let's go to Gary where is that? Arkansas? XM satellite? Go ahead.
Yep, Bald Knob, Arkansas. Hey, Mark, I just want to let you know, man, I listen to you every night. I'm a trucker. You've done some things for me that you never even realized. I mean, the Democrat Party hates America. You sent me 2 signed books.
Oh, it's because I like it. Now, don't hang up. I'm going to send you a signed copy of On Power. We have keeping the federal hat across the country, America. Isn't it fabulous? I love you, folks. I'll see you tomorrow. Grab your copy of On Power. Amazon.com.
The way to my heart is with the right business tools like QuickBooks. With features that help automate tasks like invoicing, I never have to start from scratch. Business growth is always on the menu. For a limited time, get 90% off QuickBooks Online, Advanced, and Payroll for 3 months. Terms and conditions apply.
Congratulations, 7-pound baby girl. You're gonna do great. You bought the safest car seat, watched videos to learn how to install it correctly. You bought hypoallergenic baby clothes, even installed a nanny cam so she'd never leave your sight. You have done literally everything to protect her.
And you'll keep doing everything to protect her, long after she's old enough to roll her eyes. And SelectQuote can help. A life insurance policy from SelectQuote can protect those most important to you. SelectQuote is a broker. We work for you. We shop insurance carriers to find coverage that meets your needs at a rate that meets your budget. The best part? SelectQuote costs you absolutely nothing, and we can find you rates up to 50% less than if you shopped for yourself. All in less time than it took to install that car seat. SelectQuote. We shop. You save.
For your free quote, visit SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
I'm Kiana, and I leveled up my business with Shopify. Once I figured out that Shopify was a thing, I never turned back. I can create a site with my eyes closed. Shopify thinks ahead of us, and it thinks about the customer more than anything. Every day I'm thinking about some other new business, but Shopify is doing it to me because it's so easy to use. It's like I can't stop. I'm addicted.
Start your free trial at Shopify.com.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
A remembrance in Manhattan. I'm Lisa Lissandra on Fox News. A vigil in Bryant Park for the 4 victims of yesterday's shooting in an office building in Midtown Manhattan. New York City Mayor Eric Adams said it broke his heart to speak with the father of the officer who was killed in the building's lobby while working an off-duty security job.
To lose a child, it is one of the most abnormal things that could happen in our society. Children are supposed to bury their parents. Parents are not supposed to bury their children.
And Mayor Adams said now was the time to take action against gun violence.
There's no consolation prize that we can award ourselves.
All right, I'm going to end this. Relax. And I'll see everybody on the flip side. Thank you. Rocky. See ya, Tony. Keep an eye on Wiggin for me. Make sure he doesn't die till I get back.